Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Stark tries again. He wants it! Straight through it!
Grandstand cricket.
12 months, 20 Test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary Test under lights at the MCG.
Hammer driven for 4. Beautiful stroke.
And it all begins on Thursday with Australia versus Bangladesh.
Hits it clean over the long-off boundary for 6.
Listen to every ball live from the top end. On ABC Listen, just look for the cricket button.
ABC Sport.
On ABC Sport, this is the AFL.
The $1 million man for the Gold Coast Suns. Andrew, kick on goal. Scores are level.
Sit back, relax, witness the greatest. It don't get better than this.
This is Houston. Hard up against the boundary. That is magnificent. Off balance. He's curling it towards goal. That is marvellous.
See, 'cause it don't get better than this.
That's fly from 52 and rise it all the way home. To close, the Cats have it again. It comes to Dangerfield. He's been everywhere. Down to side bottom. Doing what needs to be done.
Welcome to the 2026 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport. On radio, on digital, and ABC Listen.
You take a seat, 'cause it don't get better than this.
It's West Coast and Collingwood at Perth Stadium, and if the build-up has been about the star players that Collingwood is missing, I speak, of course, of the game's record holder Pendlebury, premiership players alongside him, DeGoey, Lipinski and Howe, and the very experienced Perryman. It's also worth noting they do bring across the Brownlow medal favourite, the number 1 player in regards to disposals and score involvements in the competition. Nick Dacos is out there, and stopping him today will be a big test for the West Coast Eagles. When they met each other earlier this year at the MCG, it was Scott Pendlebury's game's record-breaking match, and the Eagles accounted themselves oh so well, losing by just 10 points. It's been tough going since, and of course hanging over them their deplorable effort in front of goal last week against the Tigers. They kicked 9-19, 9-16 off the boot. Slight improvement in accuracy would have seen the Eagles score their 5th win of the year. How do they respond after that effort in front of goal? The Eagles are looking for their 5th win of the year, the Magpies for what would be their 12th, and victory today would absolutely lock in a spot in the wild card positions. It's the Eagles and the Magpies. Clint Wilden with you. Terrific afternoon at the moment. Blue skies above us, about 17 degrees. Mitch Turner's alongside me. G'day, Mitch.
G'day, Clint. As you said, great day for footy. You couldn't ask for much better conditions here. A little chilly for a Perth day, but we won't complain given what the Pies will be used to at the MCG on some of those winter days. Huge stakes for them. The Eagles, you said, challenged them last time. There has been a vibe around town this week in the West that Collingwood are ripe for the picking with those outs. So there's a bit of confidence around the Eagles crowd. We'll see if they rock up today, but hopefully we're all just hoping for a competitive, good game of footy.
And the Eagles have been competitive in recent times, and they'll be hoping that they can continue that in front of a crowd. We're expecting, because of the presence of Collingwood, to tip around the 50,000 mark. The Pies bring fans wherever they happen to be. Speaking of the Pies, alongside us today, one of our experts won a premiership with them, Sharad Wellingham, and he's with another premiership player in Jared Schofield. Welcome to you both. I was interested reading a paper this morning. Tom McCarthy plays his 30th game today. He's been around for a while, and I'll quote him here. He's never seen West Coast so desperate for a win. I reckon that would have been the frustration and the disappointment of how close they got last week. And deep down, they probably know, kick straight, they win. Can they cause a shock upset today against the Collingwood side, who I know has big outs, but still has class across every line? Welcome to you both. What are you expecting?
Good afternoon, Clint, listeners. Scoey, it's good to be back in here.
Good
Good to walk in with all the black and white walking around the stadium. last night for the Juventus game is what I'm referring to, of course.
Black and white everywhere in Perth at the moment.
No, it is awesome to have the Pies over in town. Caught up with a few of my old teammates, did a couple of events, and I think they're enjoying Perth WA tourism, looking after them nicely.
Travelling well this morning?
But yeah, it is an exciting prospect for West Coast as well. As you said, Clint, so much experience going out of the side, but they've still got to get the job done. They've still got to take away Collingwood's strengths, and like you said, they bring in so much, I suppose, talent across the ground. Swaddling, Hayes, the young guys, WA guys who'll be looking to play really well in front of their home crowd. I just think that they're going to stay too strong, but West Coast will take it up to them all day.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've lived in this space as a coach about 2 or 3 years ago when they had a heap of players out at Marvel, and as a coach you walked in, you looked at all that experience go out, and West Coast got absolutely smacked off the park.
Yeah.
So I agree. I said, you think about the WA boys coming over, the excitement for their families, playing in front of friends and family, that enthusiasm that Craig McRae obviously instills in his playing group. They're a really strong system-based team that whoever comes in knows what they're going to do and how they're going to execute your role. So West Coast are going to have to be at their best. And they have been competitive, West Coast, and obviously there's probably games that they've left on the table that they haven't scored because they haven't been kicking the accuracy or goal.
And I think you touched on it then. The thing that is going to make it so hard for West Coast today is Collingwood's defensive structure and their system that they play. They will strangle West Coast, and I still don't think that it's one of the strengths of West Coast's team right now is their ball movement and ability to get inside their forward 50 in good positions and take marks in good spots. Yes, they're getting it in there, but they're getting it a lot from stoppage and from centre bounce, whereas today, I feel like they're not going to be able to transition against this Collingwood defensive system that you touched on. So if they can bring that and maybe be a little bit more patient with the ball and not so... we know that Minnie wants them to play that kind of chaotic ball, but if they can be a little bit more structured today and patient, try and pick apart the Collingwood system, it might do them a few favours.
Totally agree. Yeah, they've got to be able to connect inside their front half. You know, they've got some young forwards. They need to give them an opportunity. They're still developing that sort of aerial craft that you expect of key forwards, and I totally agree. The defensive system of Collingwood is obviously one of the best in the competition, and it's collectively how they defend the ground and how they defend their back half. And
they just strangle teams, don't they?
Exactly, they do, mate. And it's one of those things where they're with a young forward line, and you know they're probably still trying to find that bit of polish up the field to be able to connect. It is going to be interesting to see what they do, but I'm sort of interested to see watching them warm up. You know, around the contest, centre bounce. You know what they do there. West Coast have been very good in that space this year. You know, even watching them warm up, you know, you sort of look at who's involved as coaches, and you see Nick Nat as the ruck coach. Like his footy IQ as a ruckman that I learned in my time at West Coast was second to none, and to see the progression and growth that they've had in that midfield centre bounce, I think it's going to be key to get field position. And I also think it'll be interesting to see if Willem Dersma goes to Nick Dacos.
Exciting.
It'll be interesting to put the young buck.
So what would you do? Would you put Dersma there, or would you put Hoff there, who has had that role in the past?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I'd go Dersma. I'd go give him a great opportunity because you know that he can actually probably hurt him the other way and get the ball. Now, as great as Nick is, I still think there's elements of his game defensively when you're that good. You're doing so much the other way and doing so much for the team that you can sort of have lapses in concentration around the defence. And I think young Dersma has the ability to make him pay the other way, which I'd go that way first. If that doesn't work, well then put the clamp on him. Double tag.
A bit of experience goes out of the midfield, but just watching the warm-up for the Pies, Crisp was warming up in there, and I think we might see him, and Josh Dacos, who notoriously spends a lot of time on the wing and half back. I think we might see him go into the midfield just to add some experience.
Toss of the coins just happened. Fat Cat out in the middle. What about that? This game raising money for Telethon here in the West. Which way did the toss of the coin go, Mitch?
Nick Dacos, of course, captain for Collingwood in the absence of Darcy Moore. He won the toss. The Pies will kick to the city end of the ground. The Eagles will kick to the Graham Farmer Freeway, which is the left of our broadcast position in the benches.
We do have a debutant today as well for Collingwood. Noah Howes wearing jumper number 40. 196 centimetres tall, originally from South Australia in the Sandville. Drafted as a forward, but has been playing mostly down back in the VFL. Played 12 games this year and gets his opportunity at AFL level this afternoon. The other member of our team, down boundary side, Bridget Lacey. A very good afternoon to you.
Hello, Clint. How glad I am that this game is today and not yesterday. It was a wild one in Perth yesterday, but we've been treated with perfect conditions for this one today. But I do wonder about the surface after how wet it was yesterday, and obviously we had the Italian soccer in the house last night, so I'll be keeping a close eye on the surface. Not expecting any rain, and I'll keep my fingers crossed, but sunshine overhead for now. A bit of a blustery breeze, but nothing really for the players to worry about. They're 16 degrees. I've still got the thermals on, but should be a good time in the crowd today. The starting benches for West Coast: Lindsay, McCarthy, Gross, Cole and Jack Williams. And for the Pies, side bottom, West, Harrison, Anderson and Long.
There's going to be a lot of focus on Jake Waterman. 2 goals, 6 last week. It is West Coast and Collingwood in the West to get us started on ABC Sport. Here's Mitch Turner.
Bailey Williams and Darcy Cameron will be the 2 rucks. 7 coaches votes each in their last meeting. They go up as the game gets underway. Neither got a clean tap. Nick Dacos, he was onto it, dispossessed. Kelly picks it up for the Eagles. Handballs out to the wings of Bo Allen. Takes a bit of ground, kicks inside the forward 50. Shanahan in front. Takes the mark up against the debutants in Howe. He'll go back, have the set shot for about 35 metres out. Slightest of angles to the left.
We saw the ground play a little bit of havoc with Crisp there, which allowed Allen to keep his feet outside the contest. And as you said, Scully, hitting it to really dangerous spots inside the forward 50's key. And this one, 25 metres out directly in front. It's a great start for Shanahan.
27 goals, 13 for the season. Jobe Shanahan makes a deliberate approach. Drop punt on the way. Splits the middle, and the Eagles are on the board early here at Perth Stadium. Less than a minute played, 1 straight 6 West Coast. Collingwood yet to score. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Mitch Turner alongside Clint Wilden, our experts, Jared Wellingham and Jared Schofield.
Well, I think if there was any team yips shooting on goal, well, hopefully they've dismissed that by getting the first one on the board. But I'm just saying to Jared off air, it's seeing Hoff start at half forward straight up for the centre bounce, made his way to Nick Dacos behind the ball. So it'll be interesting to see who they put forward, whether it's a Yo that then sits forward or a Kelly goes forward. But great start by West Coast.
So it was Kelly who stood alongside Nick Dacos at the first centre bounce, and now Dacos is alongside Yo and Nick Variety. Kelly stands next to Josh Dacos. Again, Cameron against Williams. It's thrown up. Cameron is able to win it down. Hurry to kick forward. Still going to be 1. Trying to work it out here. Eventually the Eagles gather through Herbert. He's tackled coming one way. Wrapping him up was Sullivan. The other way was Josh Dacos. Thrown up again. Cameron won it down. Bounced away. Nick Dacos just hacks it out of midair. Up into the air it goes. Punched forward by Herbert. Comes out the side to Graham for the Eagles. Got it on to Baker. The co-captain goes in the direction of Waterman, who does well to mark right up against the boundary. Beneath our broadcast position on the northern wing. Gets told to move it on. Goes onto his right. We'll send it inside forward 50 for West Coast. Great fly. Shanahan went up. Just couldn't complete the mark. Got both hands to it. Hits the deck. Players piling in over the top. Umpire will ball it up. About 40 out from goal in the left forward pocket for West Coast. They've got the only goal of the game from the boot of Jobe Shanahan. 2 and a bit minutes gone in the first.
Ball thrown in the air. Williams took Cameron to ground in the contest with a free kick to the Collingwood ruckman. Product of Albany, down south here in WA. There's a free kick in the right back pocket. Shade covering about half the ground, splitting it down the middle. As Cameron plays on, kicks up towards the northern wing. Big pack over the top. Starcevich had a fair piece. Umpire said no mark, play on. He roams his own footy. And McStay, his former Lions teammate, takes him over the boundary line. And no, the umpire's paid holding the ball. So Starcevich was wrapped up by McStay. They were taken over the boundary line. The umpire said he had sufficient prior before that. It's a free kick to the Pies. McStay kicks it up the wing. Nice mark in amongst a couple of players by Crisp. Still just beyond right half forward. Rolls onto his left boot. Kicks long inside the forward 50. Membry in front. Couldn't mark. Spills down to Ed Allen. Quick snap on the right boot. Misses to the right-hand side. First score for Collingwood, though, today. 1 behind. They trail the Eagles 1 straight 6. 4-minute mark approaching here in the first term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, a terrific play for them. Ed Allen, as Herbert brings it back into play. Goes out to Young. Runs beyond defensive 50. Kicks the Eagles towards the southern wing. That's well done. Getting in front, Howes. The debutant is able to bring it down for a mark.
Loses his boot in the process. First kick, maybe without a boot.
It is indeed. On the right sock, he puts it up towards left half forward. Young one over the boundary line for a throw-in. Makes his debut. So a Howe goes out and the Howes comes in for Collingwood. Throwing left half forward for the Magpies. 4.5 gone in the first. It's the Eagles by 5 points. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
There'd be no way of knowing, but I wonder how many guys are in the first kick, no boot club. Ball tossed back in. Josh Dacos sockers it off the ground towards left half forward. It rolls out. It'll be
I was about to say you love your stats, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it.
I don't reckon I could. I reckon that's one that might not be in the book.
Does it give a new sort of meaning to the term putting your slipper into it?
Free kick to the Eagles at right half back. Dersma has it. Kicks long up the wing in front. Cameron flies. Couldn't take the marker. It's out of his hands by Shanahan, who now turns Rover. Overruns it. Bailey Williams keeps the ball alive. Cameron's over the top of it. The Eagles trying to rip the ball out of his possession. Umpire comes in and will ball it up. Yeah, first kick, first goal is obviously a famous club. This is a little bit of afters at the moment between Harley Reid and co. I'm not sure first kick, no boot is as sought after. Ball back in the air, bobbling around on the southern wing. Kelly picks up the Eagles. Handball forward. Graham, tackled by Swadling, lost it. Quainer couldn't take it. Now the Pies have possession. Allen, nice handball through traffic to Josh Dacos. To Houston, thought about kicking, delayed. It was run down by Dersma. Holding the ball. Still on that southern wing. Dersma will take the free kick and look to switch it across the ground.
He's looking for Baker. It's not a great kick. Membry went straight to him, just standing on the inside of the logo. Northern wing. Membry for the Magpies. Kicks towards right half forward. Going up Young. Won it down. Getting it away to Bazzo. Moved it on again. Here's Dersma going beyond defensive 50. Is the tap got on it? Yes, just touched. Desperate play from Baker. Otherwise, it would have been the lasso rule. Baker's effort to get a touch on it as it went across the line means it'll be a throw-in instead. Left half back for West Coast. Rucks prepare. Ball spun back in. Williams against Cameron. Both have a tap. Kelly's at the drop. Hand pass went forward. The defensive effort here came from Bo Allen. Came out again to Kelly for the Eagles. To Bailey Williams. Sweeping it forward to no one in particular. Crampton coming the other way. Worked it nicely through hands. Swadling. Now the Magpies towards right half forward. McCreary gathered the footy. Kicks inside attacking 50. Wanted Schultz. Good spot from the side. Bazzo. Scooped up by Starcevic. Gave it to Lindsay. Tackled by McCreary immediately. Ball jarred free. Umpire says play on. It's going to be locked in. Eventually getting it out was Schultz. Schultz handed it off again. He came out the side to West. Tried to go back to Schultz. He was tackled. Ball again jarred out. Taken to Starcevic, who was tackled by West. Ball up. Deep in the right forward pocket here for the Collingwood Footy Club, going to the city end of Perth Stadium.
Both rucks got a hand on it. Harley Reid coming through for the Eagles. Handball eventually found Bo Allen, whose kick is smothered by McCreary. Goes out of bounds into the crowd. The right forward pocket at the city end of Perth Stadium. Collingwood's attacking end. Hoff sticking on Dacos here at the front of this contest, wearing him nice and tight as the ball's tossed back in. Cameron tangles with Williams. Ball comes to the front. Allen takes it to West Coast. McCreary has him taken to ground. They'll ball it up. Just inside the boundary line. Not cricket season just yet. Ball goes up in the air. Williams trying to get over the top of Cameron. Spills down to Allen for the Eagles. Kick. Still inside. Defensive 50 going back. McStay took a nice mark inside the pack. We'll have a chance for his first look at the sticks. We're about 45, 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle to the right.
Fair bit's been made over the last week or two of McStay's form. He's in incredible form. Probably the in-form key forward of the competition.
Kicked 5 last week. This is his 21st game of the season. It's been very durable this year. Dan McStay, we are right behind the kick, and that is right through the middle. Collingwood get there first. They take the lead early stages here at Perth Stadium. 1-1-7 the Pies. The Eagles are 1 straight 6. 9 minutes played in the first term. Sharrod Wellingham and Jared Schofield, our experts on ABC Sport.
I think just the way they've started Collingwood, the last 2 or 3 minutes, you touched on around their defensive system, but it's just their pressure. Be able to sort of just really squeeze that front half of the ground and apply the pressure and get repeat entries, and in the end, they get their reward.
And it's set up really well. They've got Claynor and they've got Houston who are setting up behind the ball, not as completely free, but they're setting up in a really dangerous position, but then relying on the guys at the contest. So McCreary getting to work, Schultz getting to work, putting on that massive amounts of pressure where West Coast actually had an outnumber, but due to that pressure, aren't able to get it out.
Exactly right, mate.
McStay's been the number one rated forward in the comp for the past 2 months, and his accuracy in front of goal outstanding, above 70%, now 39-12 for the season. Collingwood to get the clearance again from the restarts. Inside forward 50. McCarthy is back there under some pressure. He's able to get a kick away, but down towards Nick Dacos, who marks 80 from goal. Hoffa's standing on him at the moment. Nick Dacos pauses. Takes a couple of steps forward and then will put it towards full forward over the top of McStay. The other 11 in Kelly's behind him. He takes the mark. Steers it out for West Coast to Dersma. Plays on by hand to McCarthy. Hands it on again to Lindsay. Will chip it short to Starcevic. What about playing on by hand? Instead, turns it straight over. Kick into the path of Sullivan. Comes again to Nick Dacos. In towards the left forward pocket. Schultz marks, bounces up, plays on, grubbers it through for a goal. From point-blank range, Schultz, who knows this ground pretty well, kicks Collingwood's second, 2-1-13 to 1 straight 6. 11 minutes gone in the opening term. The Magpies have kicked the past 2.
Well, once again, West Coast were out. And if they'd kept the line of that ball going, they had players out the back. They were able to use their numbers, but Collingwood being so good defensively, being able to fill up the corridor. Starts a bit delayed with getting rid of that ball and just allowed them to fill that space, and then he just obviously overcooked the kick, didn't get it to where he wanted to, and in the end they make you pay on turnover.
They're sweating on those turnovers, aren't they?
2 goals from turnovers already for the Pies. Ball back in the middle. Williams rises higher. Cameron just weighted down, trying to take possession, then couldn't. Went the soccer off the ground instead. Ball rolls towards centre half forward. Players hit the ground. Duggan was illegally tackled without the footy by McCreary. Win the free kick, the Eagles co-captain. Has Cole waiting out on the northern wing in space. Takes the mark. Has a lead up the line from Jack Williams. Looked inboard, had nothing on the young Eagles, so instead decides to kick it inside forward 50. Marking targets there. Shanahan and Waterman flew. Williams roved it. Handball off to Tim Kelly. Snap around the body from 45 is a goal. Tim Kelly on the board for West Coast. He started this game hot. The Eagles get their second, 2 straight 12. Collingwood 2-1-13. 12 minutes played. Tim Kelly 6 touches and a goal already in his first term.
Yeah, he's doing that defensive work quite well as well at the moment. Kelly is plugging up the hole. I think a couple of weeks ago here I mentioned it post-game about his work rate to get back and taking those not intercept marks, but just getting himself in a hole that's dangerous, putting himself in front of their key forwards. Beautiful finish though, but it was the sweeping handball inside from Bailey Williams. Was it a front and centre off the contest as well?
Yeah.
So knew he couldn't impact the marking contest, gets to the front, takes a nice front and centre sweeping handball to the middle. Beautiful goal.
Good fight back from West Coast. Able to kick the pass 2. And able to respond. They'll get the clearance here as well. He's out in the hands of Kelly. Got it to Hoff. Kicks into the right forward pocket. Murdoch doesn't take the mark. Has time to regather. Gets away from Swadling. Still running. Swadling, great extra effort. Diving forward. Affected the kick. Spilled down to McCreary. Hand pass went behind Cameron. He couldn't scoop it up. It's been locked in again. Eagles gents up and down. Hoping for a holding the ball. It's not going to come their way. Long was the player who was underneath about 3 West Coasts players. One down here by Duff Tightler. Comes again to Murdoch. Strongly hit, spilled out to Schultz. Oh, here's Nick Dacos bursting away. Hands it off in turn to Harrison. Kicks the Magpies over the top of the southern wing. Membry able to outmark Starcevic. He'll kick inside attacking 50. McCarthy's done well to bring it to ground. Trying to get a hand pass forward again. There was Hayes. And then it's knocked towards goal. Socket off the ground. It's through. Sullivan. He kicks another one for Collingwood. End-to-end stuff for the Magpies. And Lockie Sullivan restores Collingwood's lead out to 7 points. 3-1-19 to the Eagles, who are 2 straight 12. 14 gone here in the opening term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport, on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and also streaming on ABC Listen.
Well, kind of take it all the way back to that lunging effort from Swadling, can't you? Milan Murdoch was off to the races, turned him outside, got a break on him, just willing to fight.
Well, just watching a bit of their defensive system, I keep going back to what you talked about earlier, Sharad, about how structured they are. And Swadling's getting back to a release of Quaynor. So they're working hard back, and then obviously they're making them pay on turnover back the other way.
Lachie Sullivan, of course, was at the centre of controversy a few years ago against the Dockers, pinned for that free kick where he didn't give the ball back to the umpire. Here at Perth Stadium, there's Dacos. This is Nick out of the middle. Wins the ball, kicks it long inside the forward 50. Big fly from West. Couldn't mark at the front of the pack. Long got it for the Pies. Handball to Anderson. On in turn to Schultz. Easy as you like from 15 out directly in front. Lachie Schultz has 2. Collingwood out to a 13-point lead. 4-1-25 the Pies. 2 straight 12 the Eagles. 15-minute mark of the first term. Sharad Bellingham, Jared Schofield.
How's Dacos' composure with ball in hand? Just hangs it out in the left hand to get Hoff up in the air and think he's going to try and handball it over the top, and presence of mind to keep it in possession and drive it inside forward 50.
There was that forward handball again there of that from Collingwood, just to go
Anderson,
forward. Yeah, just to go forward with the handball, just creates destabilised sort of angst amongst the defence, and every time they go inside at the moment, they're looking like they're scoring here every time they go inside 50.
It's definitely a directive as well to keep the handball moving forward towards goal, because the last goal, Hayes did the exact same thing.
Dacos now 138 metre gain and 5 possessions. The Eagles will get the clearance here through Kelly, comes through the middle to Hoff, kicks into the right forward pocket, attacking the football. Puncher did exactly that with it, sent it towards the boundary line, and then running across with it is Swadling. It's at right half forward for West Coast, about 60 out from their attacking goal. They're heading to the Farmer Freeway ending this opening term. Collingwood by 13 points, only 16 and a bit gone. Spun in again. McStay up against Duff Tytler. Long put his body over the football. It's been held into him by Yo. Umpire circles and says we'll ball it up. Still at right half forward for the Eagles. A few more clouds starting to gather ahead of us. Cool day, but fine so far as McStay won it down. There to Bo Allen. Went back and turned to Lindsay. Bumping tackle came from Schultz out the side. And they're away here, the Magpies, through Steele. Not the greatest hand pass he would have wanted. Instead, Harrison couldn't quite clean it up. Here's Herbert now with the Eagles. On in turn to McCarthy. Stabs it short to Yo. Hands it off again to Bo Allen. Kicks towards right half forward. It's marked there by Cole.
Cole has a runner coming past. Uses him in Lindsay. Handball over the top to Duff Tytler. Right half forward. Inside 50. Shanahan in space. Takes the mark. We'll have the chance to go back and have a look at his second goal from a 45-degree angle to the right. No more than 35 out.
Well, we spoke about connection. Their ability to use their numbers then and then just take it off the line at the last minute, lowering that ball, not allowing the Collingwood defence to get back and have an aerial presence there.
So Job Shanahan already has 1 today. Already has 28 for the season. It's been very accurate for 2026. Shanahan's kick is good. The Eagles get one back. They're 3 straight 18. The Pies are 4-1-25. Margin is 7 points. 18-minute mark of the first term. Jared Schofield and Sharad Bellingham are our experts. They've gone quite big in the forward line to the Eagles. Duff Tytler's there at times. Williams.
Well, they had
Shanahan, Waterman.
Duff Tytler had the choice of 3 forwards, all Waterman.
Quaynor's playing on Jack Williams there.
Yeah, all kind of zoning off and taking proactive positioning.
And Frampton is their number 1 defenders had to play on Duff Tytler when he's there as opposed to Waterman and Shanahan. It's not ideal, is it?
We're just watching the replay, and they've all isolated really well and created space so that Duff Tytler did have a choice of who he could pick, and that's what they've got to do, is not get in each other's space and kind of invite the long ball, create space, stay away from each other and isolate the Collingwood defenders.
Going up, Duff Tytler against McStay. That's the young Eagle who got a hand pass away in the direction of Yo. Harry harassed out of it by Allen, allows Long to pick it up. Goes back to McStay for Collingwood. Moving it by hand forward. to Allen once more. Once again to Long. Here's Anderson inside forward 50. Thought about passing it off by hand. Decides to have a go himself, but he misses right. Minor score to the Pies. 4-2-26 to West Coast. 3 straight 18. 19 gone opening term.
Quick kick into Lindsay in the left back pocket. Back into the side this week. First year player, dangerous kick back in the middle of the 50. Young Marks under pressure from Schultz. Can handball straight away too. The run of McCarthy. The Eagles go down the middle. Big kick, big fist from behind. Quainer over the top of Harley Reid. Spills into the hands of a teammate as well. Josh Dacos kicks Collingwood inside forward 50. Membry can't quite get to it. Coming out to meet it was Schultz. Bazzo got there first and was tackled over the shoulder by the little man. Wouldn't have got too many people high in his day, you wouldn't imagine, Lachie Schultz. Free kick in the right back pocket. We'll get down to Bridget Lacey on the boundaries shortly. Down the wing goes Bazzo as the inset mark is taken by Dan Houston for Collingwood, the two-time All-Australian. Future a little clouded at the Pies at the moment. Houston will send the ball inside, attacking 50. Membry got a good piece of it, couldn't mark. At the back, Young for West Coast. Handball across to Baker, whose left foot kicks a good one out into space. Shanahan couldn't quite mark it, then gathered, lost the ball, tackled by Howes. Didn't have the footy. Umpire said it's okay. It rolls out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Bridget Lacey's downstairs. Bridget.
Yeah, that marking contest in the middle of ground a few minutes ago, Harley Reid just went down quite hard and he was holding his left shoulder afterwards, but he's stayed out there and looks to be okay.
Hands and Howes involved in a little tete-a-tete as the ball's thrown back in. The Magpies will emerge with it. McStay to Ed Allen. Kicks inside forward 50. Young going back. Tapped it down. Bazzo with Membry right behind him. Just rushes it through for a minor score. 4-3-27 the Magpies. The Eagles 3 straight 18. 21 gone in the first.
Eagles again go quick from the kick in. McCarthy received it in the right back pocket. Kick wasn't good enough for a teammate, and Allen, it comes the way of the Pies. Inside 50 they go, and Bazzo there to take the intercept mark. Not quite on the same page that time, the Collingwood forwards. Bazzo will handball once again to McCarthy. This time comes out to left half back, dropping in front of Duggan was crisp. Won the ball as well. Gave it off to side bottom. Now to Membry, right half forward. Off a step. Kicks to the hot spot, looking for a mark. Big pack. No one got a hand on it. Whistle blown. Free kick will be paid. And it's going the way of Collingwood. You can tell by the groans from the West Coast fans. Roan Steele, the local product, will be the recipient directly in front, 35 metres out. See the replay. Little shove from Bo Allen.
Yeah, it was a bit early, so I didn't actually notice it in the contest, but it was definitely there.
Roan Steele back in front of his home crowd. The West Aussie playing for the Pies. Kick on the way. He'll like that one. Collingwood get their fifth. It's off the boot of the former Falcon here in the waffle. Roan Steele, 5-3-33 of the Pies. The Eagles 3 straight 18. Margin 15 points. 22 minutes gone. Bridget Lacey is downstairs for ABC Sport.
The bad news is Nick Dacos has just had his rest for Collingwood, so he's just coming back on the ground for the visitors, and Brady Hoff went back on for West Coast just before him.
It's interesting about the Harley Reid shoulder. Because watching him probably about 5 minutes prior to that in a stoppage in his sort of defensive 50 was playing around with it, and he cops that hit there. So just watching him a little bit closely, he's a tough young man. He's back out there. He's good.
Dacos returns, and he still has more disposals than any other Magpies as he comes back on after a little break.
He'd be very sore by the end of the year, I reckon, Harley Reid.
Williams won it down. Umpires spotted a free kick here. It's coming to Yo. Decides to play on by hand. Gives it to Hoff. Kicks the Eagles inside, attacking 50. No mark taken through the hands of Shanahan. Spilled out the side. Duff Tightler trying to hand pass it forward again. Crisp going back. And a hand pass short to Houston, immediately set upon by 2 Eagles. Ball up the call. And Gross, one of those in there at the moment. Thrown aloft. One down by Williams. Straight into the path of a Magpie who was immediately set upon. It's Allen. Ed Allen, son of the former Docker Ben and Hawk. He's back to his position. The Rucks go at it once more. Here's Bailey Williams. Throws it on the boot. Kicks forward, but only as far as Quaynor. who marks at right full back for the Magpies, and that's a lovely kick, finding Membry at right half back.
Membry has runners inside, goes by hand to side bottom, off to Josh Dacos, kick towards centre half forward, no Mark Anderson at the back. McCarthy crumbed it for the Eagles and ran into a brick wall, tackled by McStay, lost it. Bazzo picks it up from the home side and is wrapped up. Ball up to come, 30 metres out, directly in front for the Pies. Cameron and Williams run down there. Cameron front position, tried to take it, couldn't. Bo Allen tries to crash through, is tackled by Schultz. They'll reset again. 24 minutes played in this first term. Williams in front of Cameron, got the tap down to Yo. For step, kicks it high beyond defensive 50. Frampton, strong mark opposed to Shanahan on this occasion. Another West Aussie out there for the Pies. Takes the mark, goes inside forward 50, right to the edge of it to Swadling. And marks just outside the paint, right half forward. 5 metres in from the boundary line. Called to play on, throws on the left boot, kicks inside the forward 50, going up cold, couldn't mark. McStay rose, somehow got a kick on it. Only as far though as the Eagles in Young, who handballs to Lindsay, who can go short to right half back, where Duff Tytler takes the mark.
Duff Tytler will kick towards the southern wing. There's a one-on-one battle here, one down here by the Magpies, but only as far as Hoff. Good pressure came from Puncher. Ball still in dispute. Yo's able to gather. Got it to Lindsay for the Eagles. To Reid. Hand passing it forward again to Graham. Kicks inside forward. 50. Gross. He marks. 45 metres out right in front. Harley Reid was running by. Wanted the hand pass. Gross says no. Goes back and he's prepared to back himself. The young man back in the team. Just his second game of the season and the 10th of his career.
Not sure who it was in the bottom of that pack as they were getting.
Coley.
Was it Cole? That was a great handball.
That's what I was about to say, yeah. Great fight forward.
Here comes Tom Gross, the 19-year-old. Works his way out to his right. Kick looks pretty good. That's a terrific kick. Tom Gross, first goal of the season, second of his career. Delivered when required for the West Coast Eagles, and he gives them their fourth. And he brings Collingwood's lead back to 9 points at the 27-minute mark of the opening term. 5-3-33 the Magpies, the 4 straight 24 the Eagles. This is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. More from our experts, Jared Schofield and Sharon Wellingham.
Yeah, well, just great use of hands. Like Coley started on the far side there, won the sort of really hard ball, was able to sort of fight his way through the tackle, and the sharpness of their hands from inside to out from West Coast was able to once again connect. Every time they've gone forward, they've been able to connect nicely at the moment when they've been out of school.
Doesn't Harley draw a crowd as soon as he gets it? They all came at him, and easy handball over the top. Williams rises over the top of Cameron, taps it down to Harley Reid, handball to Yo, tackled by McCreary, taken to ground inside the centre square. Ball goes back up into the sky. Cameron took it out of the ruck, had it knocked out of his hands. McCreary through traffic, missed Nick Dacos with a handball. Coming through, McStay took clean possession and was wrapped up by Hoff and Herbert. Ball up to come, attacking side of the centre square, favouring Collingwood's scoring end. Cameron taps it over the back for the Pies. Josh Dacos ran through, went without it. Kelly tapped it to Yo, takes possession for West Coast. Kick up the centre square to Waterman. Back to Kelly by hand. Kelly inside the forward 50. Going back. Strong mark by Jack Williams. Floating across from the front. Takes the mark out. Right in front of the eyes. It'll go back. Have the set shot from 20 metres out, almost directly in front.
Yo providing some power and explosiveness from the contest. You spoke about it before, their ability to get hands from inside to out, but that one was purely just Yo's power, which we've seen for a long time, back on display.
Great mark by Jack Williams to finish off the good work. He does just that. The Eagles close the margin again. Their fifth goal brings it back to 3 points. 5 straight 30. Collingwood are 5-3-33. We've travelled almost 29 minutes in the opening quarter here at Perth Stadium. Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
The West Coast forwards there, Scully, did exactly what I thought they needed to not do, but it was Williams' ability to, take a nice strong mark. But they got in each other's space, both leading to that dangerous central corridor spot. But ability of Williams' strong hands in the contest, because Frampton almost got there.
Yeah, it's a great mark in the end, the courage that he went back with. But you're right, they sort of nearly chewed up each other's space.
Noah Howe's the debutant on Jack Williams there. He's had a couple kicked on him early, nervous start.
Eagles were 2 goals.
Forwards are going to kick goals.
Eagles were 2 goals 6 at this stage last week. Talk about a change in accuracy, 5 straight at the moment. Now, Dacos thought he was going to be able to race away here for a free kick, but it's Harley Reid who's climbed up off the deck and he's limping towards the football as he plays on by hand. Gave it to McCarthy, who sends inside forward 50 at the back. Williams tried to tap it to his own advantage. He looked to soccer it off the goal. He slapped it back in. Here's Waterman in the goal square. Tried to get a hand pass away to Dursma. Side bottom got in the way. And then it's walked across the line with no real pressure at all. Now that's interesting, because the pressure wasn't on the player who stepped across the line to concede the rush behind. It came back to Puncher. There was no one really near him. Riley Williams applied no pressure and he stepped across.
From the kick out, Collingwood take possession of footy. Membry was paid the free kick, then the umpire paid advantage. He gave it to Cameron, didn't want it, gave it back to Membry. Kick up towards left half forward. Herbert leads the race against his Collingwood opponent there in Steele. The ball goes out of bounds. Bridget Lacey is downstairs.
Eyes on Harley Reid. He's not right at all. He's been grabbing at his left leg around the sort of quad thigh area, so we'll keep an eye on him. He's stayed out there, though.
He's taken real exception to Ed Allen as well since that incident. He's gone over and whacked him a couple of times. They stand next to each other as the ball's tossed in. Left half forward for the Pies. Bailey Williams took it out of the ruck, lost possession, and then Allen is tackled hard over the boundary line by Long. Ball's going to be tossed back in about 48 out from the Pies goal. Left half forward. Just a little extra from Long, pulling him to ground there. Reid and Allen will stand side by side again. So too will Hoff and Dacos. Cameron got a tap down. Cole took it for the Eagles, though. Missed Kelly with their hands. Allowed Anderson to grab it for Collingwood. Handball back to Josh Dacos. 55 metres out. High ball inside 50. No one got a hand on it. Comes out the back to McStay, who was taken high. Shanahan got in. A little unlucky. He slipped into it. But he was taken around the neck. He didn't duck McStay. It looked like he just slipped a little bit. It's one of those unfortunate ones. It'll be a free kick, though, to the Collingwood forward. And as we said earlier, he's been kicking pretty well this year.
He didn't duck at all. It was just that he went to change direction, and Shanahan, who I was just about to say, has been moved to that kind of extra down back. Just slipped a little bit high. It was there.
Reckon the Eagles fans like it? They were pretty vocal. It was there, though. McStay's set shot is never in doubt. Everything he touches at the moment turns to gold. He has his second goal today. Dan McStay, it's his 40th of the year. 40-12, if you don't mind, in front of goal. 6-3-39 the Pies, 5-1-31 the Eagles, 8-point lead. 32 minutes gone. Bridget Lacey, another update downstairs.
Yeah, Harley Reid, I reckon it's a corky. He's really bothered by it. He keeps looking down. He's still limping, but he's not making any moves to come to the bench.
He got taken higher, though.
Yeah, he definitely got taken high. He sort of slipped, but I think it's the after where he threw the head back is where the crowd's getting a little bit.
He did sell it.
He sold it.
Yeah. It's a free kick. There was plenty of mayo added to make sure that it was awarded.
That's why the crowd's not too happy at the moment.
But in terms of Harley Reid, you've kind of got to stay active, and if you go to the bench and let that, if he's got a corky, kind of cool down, it's probably the worst thing for it.
Throwing up, actually bounced off the shoulder there of Cameron for the Magpies and came down to Nick Dacos. Kicked in towards Membry, had 2 bites at it, couldn't mark, bounced away off Anderson, taken by Young. He's wrapped up by McStay. Price says they'll ball it up about a metre in from the boundary, 35 out from the Collingwood attacking goal.
But he is limping.
Ed Allen's got the job on him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Throwing up. Cameron won it down again. Ed Allen hand passed over his shoulder. Kane McCreary goes back from Nick Dacos to Josh Dacos. He'll kick towards full forward. Big pack up off hands. McCarthy at the drop. Somebody get a hand pass away to Bo Allen. Sends the Eagles towards right half back. Frampton won it to ground. Josh Dacos over the top of it. Elliot Yeo able to gather. Looks to move it short to Williams. Not a great kick. Going back again, Josh Dacos under pressure from Cole. Worked it back to Puncher. Stolen away here, though, by Hoff. Handed it on to Reed. Yo running by. Receives it. Runs the 49 out. And the crowd will tell the story. Elliot Yo, who's had some struggles in recent weeks, kicks the Eagles 6th of the afternoon. And it's hot potato, and that's how the Eagles moved it, like it was a hot potato. West Coast, 6-1-37, trail the Magpies by 2, 6-3-39, 35 gone in the opening term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
I think, the way that Yowie trapped that ball initially at that start of the play, fed out the handball, then you saw Coley get an arm in, and then Hoff obviously slaps an arm in. Just to see Coley and Yowie have an impact. Coley, obviously a lot of pressure on him this year coming into the season, and then Yowie, fantastic to see his impact so far in this quarter.
I didn't think I'd see 4-1 from turnovers in the first quarter.
Cameron up high for the Pies, tapped it down to Allen, who went without it. Yo got it straight back, though, to Ed Allen. Collingwood go inside the forward 50. Long kick, looking for West. As it's punched away, the siren sounds. The crowd like what they have seen here at Perth Stadium. Wins have been few and far between for West Coast, but right now they're 2 points behind Collingwood. 6-1-37 the Eagles. The Pies are 6-3-39 after one quarter in the books.
And the goal kickers look like this for Collingwood. Schultz has got 2, McStay with 2, Sullivan and Steele the other goal kickers. So 2 of the players coming into the side for the Magpies have got their name on the goal kickers list. For the Eagles, Shanahan with a couple, and then singles to Yo, Kelly, Ross and Williams. Earlier today, Gold Coast ended a 10-game losing streak, beating GWS by 2 points. But here in the West, it's the Magpies who lead by 2. Plenty more to come. We'll get the thoughts of your experts, Jared Schofield and Sharon Wellingham, and take your text 0437 774 774. Wherever you're listening on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital and streaming on ABC Listen, this is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
This August, Science Week is blooming around the ABC.
We're celebrating Australia's wildflowers.
Vote now. Get involved at abc.net.au/science.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Bo Allen takes a bit of ground, kicks inside the forward 50. Shanahan in front. Joe Shanahan makes a deliberate approach. Drop punt on the way. Splits the middle and the Eagles are on the board early. Still inside defensive 50, going back McStay. Took a nice mark inside the pack. Dan McStay, we are right behind the kick, and that is right through the middle. Collingwood get there first, they take the lead.
Comes again to Nick Dacos, in towards the left forward pocket. Schultz marks, bounces up, plays on, brothers it through for a goal.
Williams roved it, handball off to Tim Kelly, snap around the body from 45 as a goal. Tim Kelly on the board for West Coast. He started this game hot. Big fly from West, couldn't mark at the front of the pack. Long got it for the Pies. Handball to Anderson. On in turn to Schultz. Easy as you like from 15 out directly in front. Lockie Schultz has 2. Cole has a runner coming past, uses him in Lindsay. Handball over the top to Duff. Seitler right half forward. Inside 50. Shanahan in space. Yeah, it's 28 for the season. It's been very accurate. 2026, Shanahan's kick is good. Comes out the back to McStay, who was taken high. Shanahan got in, a little unlucky, slipped into it. McStay's set shot is never in doubt. Everything he touches at the moment turns to gold. He has his second goal today.
Handed it on to Reed. Yo running by, receives it, runs the 49 out. And the crowd will tell the story. Elliot Yo, who's had some struggles in recent weeks, kicks the Eagles 6th of the afternoon.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
On the text line, good you can join us wherever you are. 0437 774 774. Zan in Melbourne wants us to keep right across wherever Nick Dacos is and what he's doing. He's been busy for you, Zan. 8 disposals, 166-metre gain, 4 inside 50s. It is no wonder with his influence that he is the Brownlow medal fancy. We'll keep you right across what he's doing right throughout the afternoon. Stan's listening from the front porch in Bunbury. Seems like all I'm hearing is the Eagles giving the ball back to Collingwood. Turnovers hurting them, question mark? They certainly were early on, Stan, but they seem to have solved a bit of that. And Beansy from Broadford, Victoria says, Mitch, here's a perfect gift for you. Useless Footy Stats. It's a good book. Plan to get one myself, I'll be honest with you. Tony's listening in Warrnambool. Go Pies, he says, on the inclined treadmill on a cold and wet afternoon. Good on you for getting on the treadmill. I like to avoid them at all possible if I can.
We spoke to him, didn't we?
Yeah, the guy from Useless AFL Stats. Had him on extra time. Let's get the thoughts of our experts. You heard one of them, Sharad Willingham and Jared Schofield.
Well, the text message was exactly right. West Coast were doing as much turnover football as they could in the first half of that quarter, weren't they? But managed to be a little bit more diligent with their ball use. Getting really good numbers to the front and centres. I think you made the call on the Yowie one where he was able to impact the front and centre and then shape handball inside or out. But their midfield turnovers the other way. I think I just said to you, I think they've created 6 turnovers through the mid and been able to bounce away and get that either inside to out handball really effectively, or we saw Yowie, and I think it's probably Yowie and TK have had a really big impact for West Coast, and they've been really impressive. Both hit the scoreboard and both got their hands on the ball plenty of times.
They definitely have, and it's one of those things where, as you said, the first part of that quarter, they had 8 inside 50. I think they had 6 scoring shots, Collingwood, and then the tide turned. And as you mentioned then, their ability to win those critical sort of mid-arc contests and get speed off that and able to sort of connect just shows their efficiency by hand and by foot.
So the one where Starcevic tried to bite off that kick inside 45 kick and it got turned over, I feel like that's really kind of fueling the Collingwood defensive system. But if they can play a little bit straighter and just win the hard ball at the contest, I think that will take away from Collingwood's zoning defensive structure.
Well, if you don't give Collingwood the opportunity to sort of fill up the corridor and get their defence in behind the ball, they're going to, as you said, they're going to make it hard for you to be able to penetrate in offence. And
they've just got to make sure they get the job done at the contest.
Exactly right. And I said, they're influential players in Yo. Like, he's had a fantastic quarter. Kelly plays a great role too.
Some of the stats quickly before we hear from Bridget Lacey. Clearances 14-11 the way of Collingwood. The tackle count 23-17 the visitors' way. The inside 50s, they dominate that. 18-11 the free kicks, what it's worth. Collingwood 6, West Coast 5. Individually, Tim Kelly and Tom McCarthy have 9 apiece for West Coast. 8 for Elliot Yeo, 6 for Harley Reid. Nick Dacos has 8 for the Pies, and a whole host of Collingwood players on 6. Before we get the second quarter underway, Bridget Lacey downstairs. Bridget?
Yeah, Harley, at that break, the physio went straight out and has strapped up that left quad. So he's got a little bit more protection there, but still looks super sore. Starting this at the centre ball up.
Thrown aloft. One down by the Magpies. Cameron got it to Allen immediately. Kicked forward. Inside attacking 50. Might have been a little shove on McStay. Umpires thought it was okay. Spills out in the direction of Long. Hoff's got him. Wraps him up. Still going forward. Taking the ground. Ball up the call. Now, Reid had thought he got away with it, but instead the umpire says, no, we'll have that back. I'd already blown the whistle. Throws it up. Again, Darcy Cameron won it down to Nick Dacos, who wheels around from 55 out. Will kick long. It'll bounce across the boundary line, deep in the left forward pocket for a throw-in. Quick question coming through saying, how many of Collingwood's goals came from turnovers or free kicks? 3 from turnovers, 2 from free kicks. The 6-3 they have on the scoreboard. They lead by 2 points. Early stages, second term. Ali Williams won it down. Scooped up here, though, by Sullivan. Went back by hand. Good tackle on McStay. Wrapping him up, Gross. Still trying to work the way forward. Was Long, and then 2 Eagles take him to ground between full forward and centre half forward for the Magpies. They're 6-3. The Eagles are 6-1, opening 68 seconds of the second term.
Williams reaches over the top of Cameron, got it down to Harley Reid. His kick went nowhere. Long, he tries to extract it, taking the ground. Kelly, though, for the Eagles was good. Got it to Baker, handle across to Duggan. Under pressure, kicks out towards the southern wing. Cole can't take the mark. Now has Quainer to contend with. Quainer wins out. Goes inboard by foot for the Pies. Finds Josh Dacos on the southern wing. Wastes no time. Sends it back inside the forward 50. McStay came from behind. As the 2 players were wrestling in front, he snuck up, snuck in front and took the mark. He has a chance for his 3rd goal
I'd love to see a replay of this as it comes up on the screen now, because he didn't really have a right to mark that, did he? He came from so far off the contest, and like you said, Mitch had to reach around the two players in front. Timed the jump perfectly.
Snuck up, did Dan McStay. McStay's set shot on the way, just misses to the left. Hits the post, in fact, on the way through. 6-4-40 Collingwood, 6-1-37 the Eagles.
Wasn't far away at all. It's the Eagles through Lindsay to Starcevic to Lindsay, who stabs it short to Baker. Hand pass means Lindsay has to stretch as he goes beyond defensive 50. Got it to Graham. That's a good spot. Lovely kick of about 30 metres to Reid. Handed off to Baker, surging through. Now to Kelly. Kicks West Coast to full forward. Waterman up from the side. Howes won it down. Spilled there to Cole. Hand pass to Jack Williams. Hand pass to Gross, getting the way long. Great tackle. Spilled out the side. Chance for Swaddling, though. Will come back here for a free kick. And it's going to go to Gross. Holding call from the umpire, and Gross can go back and try and kick his second goal today from about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle to the right.
It was a pretty intelligent play from Gross. Knew the tackle from Long was about to get him, and so he just didn't take possession. We see players do that really often, but you have to get the timing exactly right, and kind of lured Long into putting the tackle on him.
One of the three inclusions this week for the West Coast Eagles. Tom Gross is on his way in, splits the middle, and gives West Coast the lead at the 4-minute mark of the second term. He's got a couple, and the Eagles have got 7. I mentioned before, but what a change in regards to accuracy. 7-1-43 today. Collingwood is 6-4-40. The Eagles by 3 points. 4 gone second term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, premiership players, both of them. Jared Schofield and Sharad Wellingham.
Well, I think with young Grossi, he's been playing that high half forward role at Waffle 11. He's been hit the scoreboard too. He's actually a proven goal kicker. So the smarts then not to obviously take the ball, knew that the pressure was coming. But I just love the flow of play from West Coast from that kick in. It was just pure handballs, perfect handballs out in front, able to connect once again. But yeah, like the scoreboard, 7-1. It's a contrast to last week, for sure.
Today for breaking the drought. The Suns got their first win since round 10. The Eagles haven't won since round 12. Ball back in the middle. Comes away on this occasion off the Pies. Dacos, Nick, his handball sold. Allen into trouble. Dispossessed by Graham. The Eagles pick it up. Comes to Kelly. Kick inside the forward 50. Waterman in front. Couldn't mark. Good fist from behind. At ground level, Waterman goes back in. Tackled. Spills out to the Pies. Side bottom. Handballs in front of Josh Dacos to Sullivan. Now to Nick Dacos to Allen, who was crunched by Starcevic. Met in front on with a bump. Jarred the ball free. Back in congestion in the middle. Huge hit by Starcevic. Ball bobbling around inside the centre square. Bodies crashing everywhere. Long. He tried to step through traffic. Lost it. Eventually, the umpire comes in as the Eagles get around Brandon Starcevic. That was
tough football.
Big hit. Got him straight up the middle. Sent Allen flying.
That was a September hit, wasn't it, Sco?
Ball back in the middle. Comes away of Swaddling for the Pies. Kicks it up the centre square. Mark taken by Bazzo, who come to the near side. This northern wing. Out in front of Dersman, who almost slips. Gathers. Now kicks out looking for Jack Williams. One-on-one with Frampton. Frampton gets a fist in over the top. Then cleverly taps it to a teammate in Chris. Over the top by hander. Harrison. Good smother by Dersman. Looking to go inside 50. Dersman gets across, knocks it out of bounds.
Great smother by Dersman, because Collingwood had an extra in front of the ball there, so had to get that spoil in.
Terrific play from Frampton earlier as well. Twice been able to work it to Collingwood's advantage. Throwing in right beneath our broadcast position. Northern wing here at Perth Stadium. Neither ruck were able to get to it. Came towards Long, who was immediately tackled. Rain, one of those.
Bump of the year for mine.
Oh, that was huge.
Reminiscent of the Mumford on Duncan.
Just teeth rattling, but perfectly legal. Collingwood are away here through Nick Dacos. Down towards left half forward. Kick inside forward 50. Well read by Bazzo. Takes the mark. Gives it back to Starcevic. Out in the direction of Bo Allen. Gathers the bouncing footy, burns away from Swaddling. Great play by the young Eagle. Kicks in the direction of Cole, who drags in the mark with the right arm. It's on the outer edge of the centre square. Kicks short to Graham. 51 out from goal. In line with the left hand behind post, he goes looking for Waterman, attacks the foot, he couldn't mark, gathers, snaps, he's kicked it! That's a big moment for Jake Waterman after everything he went through over the last couple of weeks in front of goal. He points to his teammates, they know what that means as well. And the Eagles, they're 8 goals, 149. So Collingwood 6-4-40. West Coast down to a 9-point advantage. 7 and a bit gone in the second term.
Well, what a 2-minute period of football from West Coast. Like that contest of Starcevic and then the brutality of these fellow teammates to just really sort of rip in and crack in. And then they said the smother, and then they get their rewards. You know, the contest of Jacob Waterman, and he kicked straight, didn't have time to think about it.
Yeah, but you could just see his intensity and ferociousness of the contest, attack the mark and then bounce straight back up to his feet. Like he just wanted the ball in his hands, didn't he?
Oh, it was beautiful football.
He said there's been a feeling in town all week the Eagles are a red-hot chance today, and you can feel it right now. Out on the field, the ball goes up, comes down to Yo, can't get rid of it. Kelly picks it up for West Coast, another disposal for him. Off to Harley Reid, who kicks inside forward 50. Cole can't mark, Houston knocks it away. Going without it was Jack Williams, the Pies, through Josh Dacos. Handballs out to Howes, who slips at left half back. The debutant holding the ball. Tried to step back through a couple of players, was tackled by McCarthy. Lost his footing a little bit, and is the soggiest part here at Perth Stadium. McCarthy wins the free kick, kicks it inside the forward 50. Big fist from Frampton, came down to Anderson for the Pies. Sends a barrel up the middle of Perth Stadium. Bazzo the first one there. Gets there before West. Handballs to the run of Young, who can come out wide and find Duggan.
Duggan went down onto one knee to take the mark. McCarthy runs by boundary side from right half forward, meshes the kick perfectly to Cole, who dives forward to mark and then chips inside attacking 50 to Hoff.
That's smart from Cole. Realised that Hoff was standing on his own, going head-to-head. Well, not head-to-head. He's got the job of tagging Nick Dacos, and so little mind game there, isn't it? So you just want to expose someone who's been given a job. Get on the scoreboard's a great way to do it.
Exactly right, and definitely momentum's obviously in the favour of West Coast right now. Collingwood look a little bit dejected, sort of sitting behind the ball. And if they can sink one here, obviously puts a lot of more pressure on West Coast. Sorry, on Collingwood.
8 goals in a 96-game career, and you can see why with that kick. Because that is an absolute shocker. It has missed everything to the right and gone about 6 rows back.
Nearly missed his boot.
Wow. That would insult flower bags to call that a flower bag.
I think he was thinking about getting into Nick on the mark.
Free kick to the Magpies at left full back.
Howes brings it up towards the wing. Cameron in front couldn't mark. Chris at the front of the pack, though. Handballs it across to Sullivan. Coming through Herbert, knocks it away from him. Picking up Josh Dacos, met solidly by Hoff. Dispossessed. Herbert picks it up for West Coast. He's tackled. Harley Reid still really struggling. He had a kick out of the middle earlier. He stretched that quad. He's limping around this contest. He has the ball now as he roves it off hands. He's taken the ground. He overextended that sore quad as he went to kick it, and that would have hurt. And he's still really struggling. Has that heavily padded left thigh. He lays the tackle on this occasion on Crisp, who handballs to no one. Herbert there for West Coast. Overran it. Anderson shuffled it to McCreary. His kick straight back to the Eagles. Herbert was strong. Handball forward to Bailey Williams. Over the top to Duggan. Right half forward. Just gets a kick inside 50. Murdoch under pressure from Quainer. Couldn't reel it in. It's knocked off hands out of bounds. There'll be a boundary throw in just inside right half forward. 40 metres out from the Eagles attacking goal. They lead by 9.
Earlier today, Suns by 2 over the Giants. Spun back in. Williams flew high to win it down. Went to Crispo. Hand passed over his shoulder to no one in particular. Hoff picks it up off the deck. Hand pass finds Duggan. Hand pass short to Hoff. He's set upon immediately and taken the ground. Defensive effort. Allen and Crisp in the vicinity. Umpire throws it up in the air again. Ozzie Cameron palmed it down, but it went to Reid. Oh, thrown and thumped into the ground. It's been a real battle between him and Ed Allen today. It's okay. Thrown up again. Both rucks are more interested in each other than anything else. They've gone to ground, the pair of them, as the ball's taken across the boundary line for a throw-in. And Dacos was there alongside Hoff. A bit of afters with Harley Reid involved. He's sore, Reed, but he's absolutely determined to stay around the contest. Eagles by 9, 12 gone in the second. The umpire unfurls. Again, Bailey Williams went up over the top of Cameron. That should be a free kick going the way of Williams, because they're arguing here, I think, that there was a ruck infringement tumbling position here from Darcy Cameron. He holds his head as if to say, I've just got a knee in the back of the head here. Thoughts, gents?
Well, Williams is using his absolute athleticism to jump as high as he can, and he is kind of blocking him out, isn't he, Darcy Cameron?
Well, that's right. He's just trying to protect that line on the ball, and obviously Bailey has every right to jump for that ball.
So without trying to have a go at the ball itself, the applause you hear is for Harvey Reid, who's made his way off the ground. So the free kick will have Bailey Williams having a shot at goal from 45 out. We're right behind the kick. 45-degree angle to the right. He hits the left-hand goal post. A minor score. The Eagles move to the 8-2-50. Collingwood 6-4-40. West Coast by 10 points. 13 gone in the second.
Quick kick in. Dacos to Houston. Gave it by hand back to Josh Dacos. Goes out the southern side. Goes over the top of the pack. Free kick's been spotted. A little shove, the umpire said, on memory from Young. A little soft one there. Membry will take the free kick, though, defensive side of that southern wing. Long way from home. Goes for the long switch towards centre-half back where Puncher can mark. Has Frampton on the spread. All the way now to the northern wing. Frampton marks. Nothing to go to quickly. The Eagles have shut it up down the line. Now in the end, he's got to kick long and high. Cameron the target in front. Schultz flew from behind. Off hands to McCreary. Runs to 50. Straightens up and kicks into the middle of the 50 where he spots Swaddling. Good vision from Beau McCreary. Could have blazed away and gone for home. Instead, straightened up. Back towards the middle of the 50. Found Sam Swaddling. All on his own. He'll have the set shot.
Well, defensively, West Coast looked really strong, how they moved across the ground. You know, there's a sort of defensive bubble would force Collingwood down the line, but then they lose that sort of that aerial contest at ground level. And because they sort of, we call it the old language cyclone, they sort of from the fat side overcommitted and they took the ball off the line and were able to sort of connect.
Sam Swaddling, picked 37 in last year's draft out of West Perth. His set shot is a major. In front of his home crowd back in WA, Sam Swaddling gets himself on the goal kickers list. And the Pies close the gap. 7-4-46. They trail the Eagles 8-2-50. 4-point margin, 15-minute mark of this second term approaching before we hear from our experts. Bridget Lacey downstairs.
Yeah, as you said, Harley Reid made his way to the bench. We know he's really struggling with that left quad. I think it's a cork. But he also just took his right boot off and got his right ankle restrapped. And obviously, I mentioned the left shoulder earlier, so I think Harley Reid's going to be pretty sore after this one.
Eagles lead cut to 4 points. 15 gone, second term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner. Terence Schofield and Sharad Willingham, your experts, as McStay wins it down for the Magpies. It came out to Nick Dacos. Spirals a kick towards left half forward. There should be a free kick here, yeah. McCarthy got worked out underneath the football legally by McCreary. Umpire calls it as such. McCarthy, red shirt in hand, goes on a trundle and then gets a kick away towards right half forward. Flying up there, Duff Tytler was able to work it down. It comes then to Duff Tytler and then on to Graham, who kicks inside forward 50. He wanted to get it to Waterman, and was he being infringed? He was. Umpire will pay a free kick, holding decision going against the Magpies, and Waterman is tight in the right forward pocket.
You get a good idea now of how his kicking practice has been going, young Jakey Waterman.
Well, we heard from Mitch Duncan, the backs assistant coach on Sports Talk yesterday across WA, that they had done a fair bit of kicking practice this week. Let's see how it turns out for Jake Waterman. He has one today on his way in. Kicks from 30. It's, well, probably requires a bit more kicking practice. He's missed to the left-hand side. Another minor score. 8-3-51 plays 7-4-46. Eagles over the Pies. 17 gone in the second.
Houston plays on. Handball forward to Dacos. Kick down the southern side. Baker flew high. Double fist straight back to the Pies, though. Quainer, his handball was no good. Couldn't find a teammate. Had to go back and get it himself. Interesting looking handball to Long. Back to Quainer, to Josh Dacos. They're hugging the boundary line on that outer wing. Picked off now by Baker of the Eagles. Handball forward to Murdoch. To Yo, inboard to Dersma. Now Duff Tyler over the top to Williams. The Eagles by hand. Onto Graham. Finish it off. He does. And he pumps the right fist. Jack Graham. Great bit of ball movement from the Eagles. A chain of handballs ends in the experienced hands of Jack Graham, and he puts through his 4th goal of the year. The Eagles re-establish an 11-point margin, 9-3-57 West Coast, 7-4-46 the Eagles. Sorry, Collingwood. 18-minute mark approaching. Bridget Lacey's downstairs. Bridget.
Yeah, Harley Reid just jogging back into the centre square now. He's also had that left quad re-strapped, so it's even thicker than it was before. Interestingly, Andrew McWalter and Craig McRae, as we know, usually coach from the benches. McWalter was down here for the first quarter, but seems to have gone upstairs for the second quarter. Craig McRae holding his ground as we expect from him. I don't think he ever moves from there.
Tell you what's really evident this quarter from West Coast is their come forward in defence and their ability to impact.
Williams won it down. Nick Dacos tried to gather. Ricocheted away from him. Reid ran over it. Nick Dacos soccers it forward. Scooped up there by Sullivan. Eventually the Magpies can work it out the side to Steele to Nick Dacos again. 51 out from goal. He's gone all the way himself. That's a wonderful goal. What a player he is. Nick Dacos celebrates with his teammates. He's 16 disposals and now a goal to go with what is 6 inside 50s. 4 clearances as well. 9-3-57 the Eagles, 8-4-52 Collingwood. They hit back to bring the margin just to 5 points. We've gone 19 minutes into the second term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. And I agree with Bob, who says Dacos is the second coming.
Clint, you need to be like, he's that good a player. Right? You said he's had 16 possessions, nearly 350 metres gained, and it's like he's just done it at ease.
That's hard, though, isn't it? He makes that look easy.
I know, that is hard. When you got pressure and you're dropping it from 50.
There is a handful of people in the league who can grab it from 55 and go, you know what, I'm just going to have a...
The haters watch that and go, oh, he's just kicked a goal. But the level of difficulty to do that. Here he is again, gets the clearance. This is not his best handball, looking for his brother. He handballed back inside defensive 50. They've turned it over the Pies. Over the top of it, Graham for West Coast, now tackled by Dacos. Josh, ball up at centre half. Well, that wasn't his best work. He makes the difficult look so regulation, does Nick Dacos. Ball up in the air. Cameron taps it towards Steele for the Pies. Kicks it up the middle. Young in best position. Punched away by Membry. Spills to McStay. Running away out of options. Tackled by Herbert. Lost it. The Eagles turn it over. McCarthy inside his own defensive 50 receives. And a nice kick out towards Duggan. Defensive side of the northern wing, who goes back inboard to Herbert.
Herbert's got it. Running behind him. There's an opportunity to give it to Tyler Young. Instead, he's done a bit of a run himself and kicked long towards right half forward. Big pack up. No mark being taken here. Eventually the Magpies, I think it might have been a throw, trying to just clear the ball away. Instead, it's been paid okay and works its way across the boundary line for a throw-in. 5 points the Eagles lead. Time on now in the second term. I know there's a small section of football supporters that get tired with Nick Dacos commentary, but he's involved in everything. So what are you supposed to do? He's just been brilliant as Bailey Williams knocks it forward. Back there for the Magpies, down to the side bottom. Short hand pass again to Swadley. Went back to side bottom and he should be tackled and it's been locked in there. Instead, it's high contact. It goes against West Coast. Potentially a little bit lucky then. There's Harley Reid reaching out with the left arm that got side bottom high. Stands at left half back for the Magpies. Will kick towards the commentary wing. McStay flew, got 2 hands to it. Couldn't mark at the back. Bazzo, and he's taken to ground. The umpire will board up here on centre wing. Just repeating earlier today, Gold Coast playing 2 points over GWS. And here, it's the Eagles by 4 against the Magpies.
Harley Reid sharked the tap from Cameron, got a kick away, didn't go too far, ends up with Yo off to Baker as crunches he kicks towards centre half forward. Quainer with the fist, fell down though to Graham for West Coast, who was composed. Gathered, kicked short, found Cooper Duff Tightler. But he'll have the set shot as there continues to be a bit of push and shove where that ball up was. Harley Reid and Nick Dacos involved. Lachie Schultz, no surprise. See him talking a little bit of trash. By McCreary as well. Bailey Williams playing enforcer for West Coast. Plenty of chat between them all. Lachie Schultz and Harley Reid having a lot to say to each other as Cooper Duff Tightler comes in. His set shot is off to the right. Minor score. 9-4-58 West Coast, Collingwood 8-4-52. Margin 6 points, 22.5 played in the second.
Magpies bring it away. Firstly by hand, and then Houston. Lovely kick out towards right half back. Chance to build up again here through Harrison. There's a bit of a run here, Harrison, and kick over the southern wing. Punched by Anderson towards the boundary line. Taken there by Swadling. Gave it back again to Membry. Kicks Collingwood up in the air. It'll be marked, though, at left half back here by Bazzo. Staying across and floating up to take the chest mark. He stands with a 50 arc, meets the boundary. He gave Yo a real challenge. A hurry kick away and then turns it straight over. It's back to Harrison. Kicks inside forward 50. Defensive mark to Starcevich. Again back in the left pocket. The kick goes to full back where it's marked by Baker of the Eagles. The Eagles lead by 6 points, 24 gone in the second.
Oh, Baker's kick was a shocker. Meant to get to Young. Somehow it got through to Hoff. They almost turns over. Oh, Hoff's kick. That's terrible. Straight to Dacos. Nick Dacos into the middle to Membry. Collingwood have got numbers everywhere. Membry's kick on goal. Smothered by Bazzo. Spills to Harrison. At the top of the goal square, McStay says, I'll clean it up and takes the mark. Set shot to come top of the goal square. It's how Membry had the audacity to have the shot when he had 4 teammates around him as well.
A bit of tunnel vision there, didn't he?
He had 3 or 4 teammates with a handball to make it a certainty. He thought, nah, I'm a key forward.
There was a fair bit of panic going on for both teams.
There was a lot happening.
It wasn't clean footy, but Dan McStay comes through, pops in the easiest of goals for his third, and says, everyone just settle down. I'll level the scores up at 9-4-58 apiece. 24-minute mark on the second term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Yeah, probably not one for the highlight reel.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting quarter because I'm looking at this quarter, looking at the stats and getting a feel of the game. And to me, it feels like a West Coast quarter.
Yeah.
But it's an even ball game. It's I said, they made hard work of it then, West Coast, and they were made to pay. And it's, prior to that, I thought their efficiency by hand and foot has been very, very, very good for West Coast in terms of and obviously impacting on the scoreboard. But that just hurts.
Hoff almost missed his foot with the kick. You said on his set shot before, it genuinely hit the inside of his ankle and went straight to Nick Dacos a metre away from him.
Back in the middle again. Cameron got it out with a hand pass from the restart. Allen couldn't take it under pressure. Going back through, Cameron scooped it up. His hand pass intercepted. Gross was able to gather, tackled immediately. Side bottom and Houston got him. Ball up. Attacking edge of the centre square for the Eagles. Throwing up. Cameron front position. Won it down. Taken though by Graham. Graham meant to try and get Herbert. He couldn't gather. Reid could. Tackled around by McCreary. Got a hand pass out the back though. Slipping over McCarthy. Still found Bo Allen. He kicks around the body towards right half forward. Good mark, Cameron. Darcy Cameron back there for the Magpies. Marks just inside his defensive 50 left back pocket. And steer it in the direction of Chris. Not a good kick, though Allen read it well. Left in front of the Collingwood player. Marks for the Eagles. He's kicked back inside forward 50. Allowed to bounce. Howes got there. Gave it to Long for the Magpies. The side bottom. Worked it to Crisp again. Beyond defensive 50 from left half back. Came towards the commentary wing. There's been a holding decision here. It's gone against Bazzo. They'll take the advantage. McStay was given the free kick. McCreary running on. Gives it to Nick Dacos. He'll kick towards full forward. Off through the hands of Harrison. Membry, though, can gather. He slips over. Hand pass back again. Went to Steele. Steele kicks back outside his attacking 50. Missed Long. Ross was there. Had it for the Eagles. Gave it to Dersma. His hand pass was no good either. Still there to be won. Taken by Allen. Ripped by Dersma. Umpire says no, it's coming back. He's going to ball it up. He'd blown the whistle before the Eagles had stolen it away. That wasn't a passage of play either side would want to see ever again.
It's a blatant throw in there by the Pies too. Cameron taps it down to Long for Collingwood. Kick inside forward 50. The Eagles get the fist in. Membry up against Starcevic. Close to the boundary line, the right forward pocket. Neither take it. Coming in Herbert. Has the ball ripped away from him. It's bobbling around in the right forward pocket for the Pies. No one can take possession. Now on top of it is Hoff. As Harrison jumps on him. There was a blatant throw by Collingwood right from the umpire. Harley Reid was screaming at him. Ball up in the air. Cameron down to Nick Dacos. Somehow got a boot to it. Spills out towards a teammate in Long. He tangles up with Dersma. They'll ball it up again. Still in that right forward pocket. A little bit more cloud cover overhead now. The lights are on here at Perth Stadium. As Cameron takes out of the ruck on a short kick on as far as Kelly. He had the ball whacked away from him. Now over the top, Allen. Is that Allen on Allen? I think it is. Bo Allen, tackled by Ed Allen, no relation. Ball skyward. Cameron taps it down. Ed Allen is immediately wrapped up. They'll go again, try and clear it. 58 apiece. Both sides, 28 minutes gone in the second.
Cameron won it down for the Magpies. Picked up off the deck, though, by Kelly. Short hand pass through the hands of Murdoch. Gave the Magpies a chance initially to go forward. Still got dealt with it. Kelly's kick is out of bounds on the full. Collingwood will have the free kick at right half forward. Side bottom to take it. 28 and a bit minutes on second term. Scores level 9-4, 58 apiece. The Magpies go short. It's been paid a mark to Quaynor. Only just, though. Quaynor comes back into the middle of the ground. Houston in the centre square. Marks had an option running behind him. Instead, he spots a player leading out. Harrison has marked it. 48 from goal. His starting line with the right hand behind post. In fact, he's handed it off to Houston, who's gone from 50 plus and kicks the goal to give Collingwood the lead in the shadows of half-time. We know he's got a cannon of a boot, and he showed it again there. Dan Houston, first of the afternoon, and just his fourth of the season. All goals 10 now for him. Collingwood, we've got the convoy, everyone. It's a big 10-4, 64 to 9-4, 58. 29 minutes gone in the second.
He set it up perfectly, didn't he, Scully? Because he found that inside kick, kind of weighted it perfectly, knew that Harrison was probably right on his measure, and so slid past for a nice handball receive.
You have to stay switched on when Dan Houston's around that arc around 70, because he's always looking to go. And he's a beautiful kick. You can put him in a set shot, he misses.
Yeah.
On the run, he's dead eye.
By the way, Josh Dacos has 12 touches for the Pies. He has the second most for them. His brother Nick has 21 already in the first half. Ned Long for Collingwood, out of the middle, kicks inside the forward 50. Starcevic can't take the mark for the Eagles. Herbert's handball's knocked away, back to Starcevic. He's tackled, taken to ground, ball up to come. Just inside right half forward, 45 metres out. By waits the two rucks. Cameron and Williams go at it. Tapped out in front of Dersma. He went without it. Long picked it up. Handball to Ed Allen. Kick on the ground inside to Hayes, who was clean, gathered, snapped, missed. Behind. 10-5, 65 Collingwood. 9-4, 58 the Eagles as Hayes and Harley Reid clash.
McCarthy, there's a second footy on the ground they'll have to deal with as he goes to Young. Stabs the ball short to Kelly. Tolly Young runs by, receives the hand pass for West Coast, kicks to the southern wing. Goes over the back of Houston. Swing out of midair from Swaddling, missed everything. Murdoch was able to gather. Found the chest of Waterman, who marks about 70 from goal. Left half forward, pops it inside forward 50. That is nicely worked. And Duff Sightlock can go back and have a shot. He's going to put boots of ball from 45 out after a half-time siren. It's a 45-degree angle to the left. The margin, as we speak, is 7 points. Can he make it just one at the major break? Duff Tightler, 3 goals, 8 for the season.
missed to the right-hand side. A minor score.
It's a goal the difference at half-time here at Perth Stadium. Collingwood at 10-5-65. West Coast 9-5-59. The goal kickers look like this. For the Magpies, McStay has 3. Schultz has a couple. And then Houston, Swadling, Sullivan, Nick Dacos and Steele, the other goal kickers. While for West Coast, Shanahan's got 2. Ross has got 2. Yo, Kelly, Graham and Jack Williams, the other goal kickers for the West Coast Eagles. It was a 2-point lead to the Magpies at quarter time. It's now a 6-point lead at half time. There is a game going on as we speak in the AFLW. There is a call available, by the way, on ABC Listen. But yes, St Kilda hosting Carlton ahead of the men's battle a little bit later today. And at half-time there, the Blues lead by 33 points, 6-5-41 to 1-2-8. So Carlton 6-5-41 to 1-2-8. Just repeating, there's a call available if you want to listen to the AFLW between St Kilda and Carlton on ABC. Listen, here at Perth Stadium, the Magpies are off the ground. The Eagles are heading to their rooms. Collingwood lead by 6 points. Let's get the thoughts of our experts, Jared Schofield and Sharad Willingham on ABC Sport.
A couple of interesting patches through that quarter, weren't there, Scully? It was a period of time where I think there could have been the Benny Hill music playing at certain times. But do you know what I was really impressed with was the anticipation and willingness of the West Coast, I suppose, structure to come forward and impact and really make those decisions with strong, conviction in their decision. And they were anticipating nice and early. We saw Baker do it a couple of times, Cole do it a couple of times. Starcevic, I'm really enjoying watching because he is just a general kind of sitting back there. He's got real confidence in letting the kind of game evolve around him and play off his direct opponent and be in a really proactive space. And I think it allows the other kind of defenders to play a little bit more confidently as well. So only the first or second time I've actually seen him in real life. So I'm enjoying watching him behind the ball.
Well, you got him and Duggan with the experience, and you said you're spot on with that, Jared, in terms of how they can know when to come forward, know when to control space. And then the likes of McCarthy is now getting the offensive play on the back of that. With those players. So he's going at 93%, McCarthy, with ball in hand, 14 possessions. But it's on the back of what's happening with the defence as well, because it allows him to play in the offensive mode, which is why they've got him there at half-back, even though he's defending well. But it allows him to do that with the likes of Starcevic and Duggan and Baker with that experience across that sort of half-back line to allow him to do that. But yeah, look, it was one of them things where I was looking at the quarter, and it was the efficiency of West Coast was nearly at 80%. And then that last 5 minutes, it dropped off by nearly 3 or 4% in terms of what they were doing. They were making some silly errors, a bit of panic set in. Young sides fatigue, that can happen. Collingwood's pressure really sort of stepped up, and they had field position and just put themselves into a bit of panic. But I really liked how West Coast went at the game offensively, because we spoke about at the start of the game how are they going to break the defensive system of Collingwood.
The time spent, the first half of the second quarter there, a lot of time was spent in the Collingwood forward half, but they weren't able to capitalise and they weren't able to get any shots on goal. And West Coast was set up really well behind, penned them in, and it felt like Collingwood didn't resort to it, but they said, we're not going to be able to chain our way out of defensive 50. We'll get a mark and then go long down the line, and it felt like they were going to try and draw up all of the West Coast defenders, play a really flat line and try and get him out the back. But West Coast kind of stuck tough, didn't they? And stuck to their kind of defensive positioning and were able to nullify the contest, not let them get out the back. They did once or twice, but were able to then... That off-ball slide was really impactful, and they weren't able to get a clean inside 50, and there was a couple of drop marks, but there was somebody there at least putting on a bit of pressure. So they'll take a lot of confidence. I think you're right. They did fatigue, and towards the back end of the quarter, Collingwood's, I think, maturity and ability to stay present in the mind was probably a little bit stronger. But I'm just looking at the effective disposal or efficiency, 57% at the moment for Nick Dacos. That's just, he's got Hoff doing a great job on him. I know he's had 21 disposals and he's having a huge impact on the game, but he's just scrapping him and doing, it's a great contest. I'm a bit concerned about Reid, the knock on his knee. He's really labouring through every contest, isn't he?
Well, you know, it's like you play the game, you get that corky on the side of your quad.
It's horrible.
The ITB, don't ask me to pronounce what the actual real term of the ITB, and you can't put any pressure on it. And that's why I thought he'd done something with it, because when he had that kick out of the centre bounce,
just gave away.
He just gave way on him, and he's a tough young man, and he's just going at it, and he won't he'll keep going. But he obviously needs that support because he is a contest player.
Yeah.
We saw Yowie obviously step up in that half as well. So they're going to have to make sure that they support him because they can't rely on Harley if he's labouring a little bit in and around the ball. But the one thing that stood out for me around the stoppage side of things was Collingwood got ascendancy then in that quarter. I think it was a differential of about 4, and they were able to get field position from centre bounce. Dacos was able to use the back of the circle and all the space to be able to set things up. I know he had that errant handball to his brother late in the quarter, but he's able to use the space to the back of the circle and try and get some territory. And I think West Coast would have to look at that closely because you don't want to give up too much field position and start your game from the back half. And that was what was able to sort of hold him in good stead in the first part of the game in the first quarter as well.
Hear more from our experts very soon. Sharrod Willingham and Jared Schofield, premiership players, both of them here on Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Just repeating, game earlier today at Manuka Oval in Canberra. The Gold Coast Suns, they broke through. First win after losing the past 10 games, 11-13-79 to GWS 11-11-77. There's a game to come, St Kilda versus Carlton at the Docklands, and just giving you that score again in the AFLW game, part of the doubleheader there. The Blues leading by 33 points at half-time, 6-5-41 to 1-2-8. The Magpies lead here at Perth Stadium over the Eagles by 6 points. If they win today, they lock in a spot in the finals in the wildcard positions. They cannot miss out with a win today, the Magpies. In the meantime, before we come back for the second half, let's pause here on Sunday Footy on ABC Sport and take the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Eliza Getzi. The Greens are demanding Labor crack down on inducements as the government struggles to secure support for its proposed new gambling laws. Here's National Affairs correspondent Jane Norman.
Labor's proposing a partial ban on gambling ads, but it's under pressure to also include a crackdown on gambling inducements following explosive evidence aired at a 2-day inquiry last week. Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young says incentives offered to gamblers must be banned.
The gambling companies last week tried to tell me there were generosities. I mean, give me a friggin' break.
Minister Jenny McAllister told News 24 the Communications Minister is in talks with senators.
And she will have been paying attention to the evidence that was brought forward in the Senate committee over the last week.
At this stage, neither the Greens nor the Coalition back the bill.
An official investigation is underway by the aviation safety watchdog after another near miss between 2 passenger jets at Sydney Airport that's left a Jetstar crew member injured. The plane heading for the Gold Coast had to brake suddenly to avoid hitting a Qatar Airways plane that was under tow from an airport tug. The incident also came after days of disruption and delays to flights at the airport due to staffing shortages with air traffic control. A statement from Air Services Australia suggests the tug may not have followed air traffic control instructions, but stopped short of saying it caused the accident. Angus Mitchell, Chief Commissioner of the Australian Transport Safety Bureau, says it's too soon to attribute blame. He says investigators will gather evidence and talk to everyone involved.
Part of it will be from recorded devices, what was broadcast from the air traffic controllers, what was the understanding by the crew in the Jetstar aircraft, what was the understanding of those that were manoeuvring the Qatar Airlines flight. These things are never as simple as simply one person in the chain.
Thai police say the teenager behind a deadly school shooting outside Bangkok on Friday had an air gun confiscated by a teacher last year and had watched violent content online. The 14-year-old allegedly shot dead his grandparents at home before killing another 6 people at his school and turning his gun on himself. The Thai government is moving to tighten gun laws and is promising new safety protocols for schools as investigations continue into the mass shooting. And there's no comment yet from the United States after Iran issued a set of demands around reopening the vital Strait of Hormuz. Here's Larry Buttrose.
A statement from the commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guards says the United States must permanently end the war, lift its naval blockade of Iranian ports and ships, and withdraw its forces from the area. It also must completely compensate Iran for war damage, lift sanctions and unconditionally release frozen assets and never threaten Iran again. The current US position, however, is to reach an acceptable deal first on the strait before ending its naval blockade. Meanwhile, despite the current lull in fighting, the UAE says one of its ships has been targeted by an Iranian missile.
Back home, a man's body has been found in the search for a missing swimmer near Wollongong. Emergency services were called to Cliff Road in North Wollongong around 10:40 this morning after the belongings of a swimmer who'd failed to return from the water were found. Police, Marine Area Command and Surf Lifesaving New South Wales began a multi-agency search to locate the missing man, during which time a body was found in water nearby. The man hasn't been formally identified but is believed to be 32 years old. And a grieving community in Melbourne has come together to remember a beloved shopkeeper who died after allegedly being attacked by a group of young people last weekend. Here's Kira Proust with more.
Hundreds of people travelled to Sunshine this afternoon to mourn local grocery store owner Van Viet Truong. The 60-year-old died in hospital on Wednesday after he was allegedly bashed by a group of teenagers while stepping in to stop them allegedly stealing clothes from a nearby shop. A vigil was held on the suburb's main shopping strip this afternoon, with many using it as a chance to call for tougher laws on youth crime in Victoria. Police have bolstered their presence in the area since the death, but locals argue more needs to be done.
And Australia's top porridge maker has been crowned at a competition at Pearl Beach on the New South Wales Central Coast. The inaugural Pearly Spurtle saw 18 competitors battle it out for the title of porridge champion through 3 heats and a final. Contestants had 30 minutes to serve up a bowl of traditional porridge using only oats, water and salt. Former Sydney cafe owner Robert Reid was crowned the winner by using Celtic salt he'd shipped in especially for the competition. This is ABC News.
Every community has stories worth sharing. ABC Your Say is your chance to join the conversation. Tell us what's on your mind. Visit abc.net.au/yoursay.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Handbuster Gross getting the way long. Great tackle, split out the side. Chance for Swaddlington will come back here for a free kick. And it's going to go to Gross. Holding call. Tom Gross is on his way in. Splits the middle.
Now to Nick Takos to Allen, who was crunched by Starcevich. Then in front onto the bump. Jarred the ball free, back in congestion in the middle. Huge hit.
Line with the left hand behind post. He goes looking for Waterman. Attacks the foot. He couldn't mark. Gathers stats. He's kicked it. That's a big moment for Jake Waterman after everything he went through over the last couple of weeks in front of goal.
Off hands to McCreary. Runs to 50. Straightens up and kicks into the middle of the 50 where he spots Swaddling. Sam Swaddling picked 37 in last year's draft out of West Perth. His set shot is a major. Now it's up Tyler over the top to Williams. The Eagles by hand. Onto Graham. Finish it off. He does. And he pumps the right fist. Jack Graham.
The steal to Nick Dacos again. 51 out from goal. He's gone all the way himself. That's a wonderful goal. What a player he is.
Collingwood got numbers everywhere. Memphis kick on goal. Smothered by Bazzo. Spills to Harrison at the top of the goal square. McStay says, I'll clean it up and takes the mark. But Dan McStay comes through. Pops in the easiest of goals for his third.
Harrison has marked it. 48 from goal. Starting line with the right hand behind post. In fact, he's handed it off to Houston, who's scored from 50 plus and kicks the goal to give Collingwood the lead in the shadows of half-time.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Clint Wilden with you at Perth Stadium, and Collingwood lead here by 6 points, 10-5-65 to 9-5-59, the score of the West Coast Eagles. A couple of other things to bring you up to date with. In the NRL, there's been a game completed. The Knights have beaten the Raiders by 6 points, 30-24. Of course, earlier today, Gold Coast by 2 points over GWS. We'll hear from that game in just a moment. But first, the match review panel has just dropped its findings, and the match review officer
of all the things that happened yesterday. Only one player is facing a suspension. Darcy Byrne-Jones for rough conduct on Errol Goulden in the third quarter. Careless, medium and high. He certainly went past the ball, Darcy Byrne-Jones. I was watching that as it happened last night in the ABC Perth newsroom alongside Tom Wildey and thought, yep, you're in real trouble. And sure enough, he's been given a one-match ban. So fixed fine for careless contact with an umpire for Jack Barton of Geelong. Tom Papley has been fined for a tripping offence, and Cozzy Pickett fined for staging as well, $1,500 for Cozzy Pickett. But the one that mattered most of all there, Darcy Byrne-Jones, has been handed a one-match ban for rough conduct against Errol Goulden. As I mentioned earlier, the Suns beat the Giants by 2 points, and after the game, Adam Shirley from ABC Sport went down in the rooms and caught up with Took Miller.
Took Miller from the Gold Coast Suns. I mean, today, difficult conditions, a desperate team to try and stay in finals, and yet you managed to pull off the win. Why was it important, not just how?
I mean, I think just from our point of view, like purely, we needed the win. I mean, we have probably nothing to play for except pride and build our identity going into next year, and we had an opportunity to ruin another team's season, and look, we did a great job. Like you said, it was scrappy. It wasn't pretty footy, but like we knew that was what we were coming in for, and I'm pretty stoked you got to win. Yeah, to get off the...
It's written all over you, and you're a long-term leader of this club. How much does pride mean, especially given the last 10 to 11 weeks as well, when previously you were a fairly decent tip for finals?
Yeah, definitely. It's been hard, I won't lie, but I've also, on the flip side of that, I think we've done such a fantastic job at keeping our spirit and our belief in the team. I think it's an easy to go fork in the road. You can go both ways, and I think our team stuck together, and we've had a lot of heat from outside, and I feel like we've done a really good job just to continue building. And, like our last few weeks, we've actually been playing some good footy. We just let ourselves down a little bit, and it was good to get some reward today.
When the crucible's so hot and that external noise is pretty high and negative, how challenging is it for you as a group to stay united and still work through it to a point where you can snag a win?
Yeah, I guess it's really important. I mean, the thing is we're always going to have expectation on us going forward, and that's what you want. Like, the pressure is what you want. You want to be able to play in big games. And look, I feel like the adversity we've gone through as a group so far is it's been really strong. Will hold us in good stead. We've got a long way to go though, but yeah, geez, it was good to win.
You've a long perspective on this club and over many years in this game. So I wonder if something in particular today stood out to you as a favourite factor in this win.
I think the last probably 3 minutes. I think we had an ability to be able to hold on there, and we executed a plan that we look at probably every single game before we get into a game. We try to figure out how we can finish a game if it's close, and we did a really good job of doing that the last 3 or 4 minutes. Everyone was doing their role. That's all we can ask for.
There's a lot of joy and a lot of smiles here. I can see that. Good on you, and all the very best for a strong finish to the season.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
There's Took Miller with Adam Shirley after the Giants were on the wrong end against the Gold Coast Suns. Miller, of course, with the Suns' apologies. Bit of news. This just looks to be floating through from downstairs. Bridget Lacey, what have you got for us, Bridge?
Yeah, the West Coast Eagles have been warming up for the last few minutes, and I haven't been able to sight Harley Reid out there. We know his problems from the first half with that left leg problem. I have inquired with the West Coast Eagles if he's right to continue, and they believe he is. So I'll just keep an eye out. Maybe they're just giving him extra treatment in the rooms before he comes up.
All right, we'll feed across that. Harley Reid not out there for the start of the second half. And teeth back in. Of course, Gold Coast, their first win since Darwin in round 10 when they beat Port Adelaide. So they broke through after 10 consecutive losses to beat GWS by 2 points today in Canberra. Collingwood, they lead here at the moment by 6 points, 10-5 to 9-5 ahead of the restart. Mitch Turner's got some of the numbers. Mitch?
Just some of the numbers quickly. The clearances 26-19 Collingwood's way. The tackle count, the Eagles jumped ahead 43-42. Inside 50s, Collingwood 29-25. West Coast evening that up. Nick Dacos, has 21 disposals and a goal. 7 inside 50s. Tim Kelly, 16 for the Eagles, has the most as the umpire stands with ball aloft in the middle of Perth Stadium. The two sides in position. Second half action ready to get underway. The umpire throws the ball aloft. Cameron taps it down to Nick Dacos, held without it. Will win the free kick. Brady Hoff just pulling him back as he was once again in that classic Nick Dacos fashion, running towards the defensive side of the stoppage. They win the free kick and just pumps it long. Inside forward 50 for Collingwood. Big fist came from Bazzo up in the air. Comes down to McCarthy for the Eagles. Darcy Cameron's just going down holding the ribs in this contest. Has actually called another teammate in to ruck, which is Tim Membry. He's in a bit of trouble here, Darcy Cameron. The umpire's going to pause for the moment. He's copped one in the right ribs. He actually called Tim Membry and said, I can't take this stoppage. And I reckon now he's not going off. The trainer's there. He's just going to clear the area to the boos of the Eagles fans. The umpire will get the ball back in the air. Bailey Williams slapped it out towards space. Yo got it. Broke out of one tackle. Handball away. Comes back to the Pies, though. Steele just outside 50. Left half forward. Kicks it deep. Going up. Bo Allen couldn't mark. McCreary at the fall of the ball. Broke a tackle. Handball across to Ed Allen. High. Quick kick on goal is good. Ed Allen finds the middle of the big sticks. Quick kick out of the pack. And Collingwood strike first in the second half. Their 6-point margin quickly out to 12. 11-5-71 the Pies. The Eagles 9-5-59. A minute and a half played in the third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Nice quick kick, wasn't it? But Ed Allen doing the job, or was doing the job in the first half on Harley Reid. So to be able to hit the scoreboard's a great result. Had an awesome year, Ed Allen, and has, I believe, finally been rewarded with a 2-year contract extension at the Magpies. Become super important for them, hasn't he?
Wasn't a great missed tackle by Elliot Yeo.
Well, yeah, McCurry, he's strong.
He's a strong player.
It's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, just looking at Harley Reid on screen, like he hasn't started this second half, and
he's down in the room still.
Yeah.
Bridget Lacey downstairs. Bridge.
On the bench now, and West Coast have assured me he's right to go.
Okay, so he's back out and ready to go. Collingwood have possession of the footy in the centre square from the restart. Josh Dacos gets a kick that bounces inside forward 50. Starcevic tried to tap it down. Came in the direction of McCreary. Couldn't gather it first time or second time. Swaddling was Sullivan, able to work it away to Membry. Hands it off in the direction of Ed Allen. Starcevic did well. Trapped the footy. McCreary was there. Starcevic spun in again. Picked it up off the ground and he was tackled. Allen got him alongside Sullivan. Ball up the call. It's thrown up at right half forward for the Magpies. Darcy Cameron is back in the ruck at front position. He won it down. It's back over the boundary line. Throw in. 51 out. The attacking goal for the Eagles. Daniel Ricciardo is in the house. Shot of him on the big screen. He's just given the thumbs up to the Eagles fans. Former Formula One driver. Spun back in. Was here. Josh Dacos at right half forward. He gets a kick towards full forward. Spoil from Bazzo out in the direction of Steele. Had an option in Sullivan. His head went back to Houston. He goes towards goal off a step and misses to the left-hand side. A minor score. So for the Magpies, 11-6-72. The Eagles 9-5-59. 3.5 gone third term. Former number one ticket holder for West Coast, Dan Ricciardo.
Yeah, in the 2015-16 years, one of which they played in a grand final, and Sharrod Wellingham played in that one for the Eagles. Long kick, outside defensive 50. Williams.
He's a great number one ticket holder. He's come down and play FIFA with us. FIFA.
Players time with the ball wrapped up outside half forward.
Rock up into the players' lounge.
Did he actually?
He'd have Dan Rick sitting there, play a bit of FIFA with you, have a bit of lunch. It was great.
Which team did he pick?
Did he pick? Oh, I can't remember.
Oh. Ball up in the air, bobbling around Dacos. Nick, quick handball to Steele side bottom. Now to Josh Dacos. Little kick inside the centre square. Attacking side of the circle. Houston has it. Spears the ball inside 50 on the lead. Unable to take the mark with Schultz at ground level. Kelly, he's tackled, loses it. Long picks it up. Back to Ed Allen. Snap off a step again. Is all the way to the line. Bazzo drops what he should have marked. Now he's wrapped up in the goal square. Ball up to come. 5 metres out from Collingwood's attacking goal. Cameron in front of Williams, trying to soccer it out of the air. It goes through for a minor score. 11-7-73 the Pies, 9-5-59 the Eagles. 5 minutes gone in the third term. I know he obviously sorted a few of the Eagles boys out with some tickets to the Grand Prix, and they were travelling through Europe at times as well. Daniel Ricciardo, good connection to have, I reckon.
Marcus Herbert goes on a bit of a run. Kicks beyond defensive 50. Steele won it down. It came to Nick Dacos. Sent it back inside forward 50. Was able to hit on the chest. Tim Membry leading out He can have a shot from about, let's say, 49 metres out from goal. He's bang in front.
Just a bit rattled at the moment. West Coast stuck in their back half. They need to find us some composure at the moment. Collingwood just swarming all over them with their speed and their pressure and using the ball efficiently.
Tim Membry on his way in for Collingwood. From the top of the 50-metre arc, his kick is a beauty. Collingwood, they have taken the ascendancy early in this third term. Tim Membry, great kick from him. And the Magpies go out to a 20-point advantage, 12-7-79 to 9-5-59. 6 gone in the third term. Bridget Lacey's downstairs for us on ABC Sport.
Just in the nick of time, Harley Reid is now jogging out into the centre square. So obviously whatever treatment they were doing, they wanted to leave it until the last minute. But I suspect he'll be battling on as he has all game.
Trying to get the binoculars back from Sharrod. He's trying to spot his nieces, I think, in the crowd who are trying to wave at him from the box. They Pies fans, Sharrod?
Yeah, they've got the black and white on today.
Here we go. Harley Reid straight into the action. Handball forward to Yo. Socket off the ground. Kelly on the end of it. Steps around side bottom. Handball out towards Dersma. Over his head. Has to track it back outside right half forward. Has Frampton to contend with. Gets around Frampton, does Dersma. Kicks inside the forward 50. And Darcy Cameron there to take the intercept mark for Collingwood on the last line of defence. Can handball to Dacos. This is Josh running past who kicks towards Quainer. Marks just inside right half back. Spears the ball inboard on the 45-degree angle to Crisp. Still inside his own defensive 50. We now go for a very long, risky kick to the southern side. Dersma floating across in between 3 Pies. Takes the mark and wins it back for West Coast. Thought about the handball, instead plays on. Now kicks inside the forward 50. Josh Dacos pushed his opponent in Murdoch out of the way. And he'll win the free kick, the Eagle. Just edged him under the ball. Murdoch will have the set shot from pretty much directly in front.
I think that's as much kind of forward craft from Murdoch. He's obviously felt the hands in the back and milked the kind of contact. Wasn't much from Josh Dacos.
See, they're very quiet, the Eagles fans, about that one on the milking.
Yeah. It's smart forward craft by Milan Murdoch.
Free kick was there. Murdoch on that left boot. The set shot is through the middle. He celebrates hard. Here come the Eagles. Almost every player getting to Milan Murdoch, trying to get a bit of energy up. They get their first goal of this third term. 10-5-65 West Coast, Collingwood 12-7-79. Margins 14 points, 8.5 minutes played. Mitch Turner and Clint Wheeldon here for ABC Sport. Our experts, premiership players, Jared Schofield and Sharrod Wellingham.
Do you mind that one being paid?
I think it's just smart. Like, you feel the pressure. Whether you're milking it or not, as you said, it's just forward craft, knowing what you can get away with within the rules. And when you put the hands in the back and you're a little bit overzealous, well, you can pay the price. So it's smart.
The free kick's there. Yeah. He's just, as we saw with Dan McStay, accentuated it to make sure that the umpire saw it. I agreed with Mitch. There wasn't a lot of protestation around the ground from the West Coast supporters on this occasion. As the Eagles, as Harley Reid got bumped over off the footy, saw Elliot Yeo get it and send it deep inside forward 50. Punch came from Puncher down towards Josh Dacos. Broke away from Dersma. Swept the hand pass back to Howes. The debutant has done really well. That's a terrific kick out to Hayes. Another one of the inclusions this week. From right half back, kicks down the line and couldn't find Quaynor, who goes to ground. Bazzo stood there and marked. Bazzo quickly sends it in the direction of Waterman. Marks it left half forward, wheels around, 51 out from goal, decides to go himself and misses to the left-hand side when there were options ahead of him, Shanahan in particular being one of them. 12-7-79 the Magpies, 10-6-66 the Eagles, 10 gone third term.
So the Eagles have just ramped up the pressure a little bit here in this third term. After Collingwood kicked the first two, they responded with one. Josh Dacos, long kick towards Hayes, tapped it down towards Allen, handballed out to the path of Swadling. Shut down by Bo Allen, goes back inboard by hand to Ed Allen, who kicks forward to Darcy Cameron. Handball onwards to Sullivan, inside 50, Schultz flies high, drops the mark, taps it up to Membry, on the step, misses. When I say taps, it's a suspect tap, close to a throw, doesn't matter either way. 12-8-80, Collingwood, West Coast, 10-6-66.
West Coast, they turn it over across half back, getting it on. Sullivan gave it to McStay. He'll kick into the goal square. It's been shepherded through here, I think, by Schultz.
I don't think it was shepherded. I think he got a boot to it.
Has he got a boot to it? Well, that is ridiculous. Up against Young in the goal square. He's backwards to us as we have a look here on the big screen for the replay. Has he been able to get a little touch on it? Putting his hand right there was Young. Has Young got a little touch on it off the top of the fingertips of the left hand as well?
Oh, it's going to be a very close one. Umpire's call was behind.
Yep.
Umpire's call for mine.
Yeah, I don't think that's definitive enough, is it?
It's like it at the same time.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that is still, even if it's not a goal.
Even Schultz just kind of gestured that it's a behind.
The crowd reaction along the line, it's going to be called as a behind. I thought he was putting his body there at first stage just to try to shepherd it through, and then he's trying to just sort of help it on its way, and then it's been able to get the little fingertip touch from Young. Well done to Young, who didn't give it up. So 12-9-81 the Magpies, 10-6-66 the Eagles, 12-9 in the third.
Given the uniform and the event last night, I thought one of the eventers' players had forgotten to leave the field of play. It's a long kick towards the wing for West Coast. Big mark over the top, Bailey J. Williams. Now goes wide to Allen, knocked away from him by Chris, picks it back up, tackled by Hayes, handball forward to Herbert, somehow gets it out towards Hoff. Now to Reed, down the wing go the Eagles, handball inboard to Cole, knocks out of his hands, spilled back to Hoff, to Bailey Williams, to Yo, who slips, tackled as he taken high, no. Long got him. Ball up to come 60 metres out, just beyond left half forward. He may have been taken high as he slipped to ground, Elliot Yo. Ball thrown back in the air. Cameron taps it down. It comes to Ed Allen for Collingwood. Kick up the wing, losing his feet. Bazzo dropping the ball. McStay comes still though to the Pies. Ned Long loops the handball inside the centre square. Swadling was strong. Picks it up. Handball to Ned Long, who rode the bump of Graham. Now kicks it on inside 50 for Collingwood. It comes out the back. Snap on goal by Harrison. Right to the line. Membry marks. Membry puts it into the second tier for his second goal.
Some characteristics of Jack Graham, the bump. Then he's normally, I said, he's one of their best tacklers. Chose the bump or got caught in two minds. And
I hate to say it, Scully, but it's a junior football area, isn't it? Bumping instead of tackling when the players got the footy. The margin, by the way, is out to 21 points now, the way of Collingwood.
Oh, especially with the modern game, like with the bump and the rule and the risk with it. That's why I said it's uncharacteristic of Jack Graham to make that decision. And at the moment, you know, Collingwood just had a bit more composure with the ball going forward. They made some good decisions. West Coast Heroes there. They're under a lot of pressure right now.
What would you say if you were coaching Subiaco on the WAFL and a player bumped instead of tackled?
Just tackle next time, son.
Sounds like the polite version.
Tough tight, we're one down in the middle. There's a holding decision. It's going to go way of Collingwood here. Long has it. He's on a bit of a run from the middle of the ground, kicks deep inside forward 50. McStay leads up to it, flew, couldn't mark, came out in the direction of Young, got a hand pass away to Dersma, back to Young under real pressure, hand pass in the direction of Starcevic, palmed it down to Herbert, hand pass again to Young, he'll look to switch play. Cole up against Quaynor. Cole won it down, tapped it away from Quaynor a second time. Hoff sliding onto the foot. He gave it back to Kelly. They've done that pretty well, but then Bo Allen couldn't take it cleanly. Spilled there to Cameron. On in turn to Nick Dacos. Kicked inside forward 50. A rare poor delivery from Dacos finds Bazzo instead.
And he'll switch play out to McCarthy, who marks at right full back. By the way, in the AFLW game, the Blues lead the Saints by 22 points, 20 gone in the third term. There is a call available on ABC Listen if you'd like to be across it.
The Eagles move it from right half back through to Lindsay. Long kick up the southern side, coming out Puncher, trying to mark it, couldn't get there. The Eagles players thought he deliberately punched it across the line. Instead, umpire says they'll toss it back in. You can't mark it when your name's Puncher. You go against everything your family stands for. Ball brought back into play. West in the ruck against Duff Tyler. Duff Tyler got it to the front. Dursma gathered, tackled by Swaddling, got it towards Reed. Handball just a little hot for Tim Kelly. He runs out of room and over the line for another boundary throw-in. See the replay. Don't think you could argue too much. Couldn't do much else with it there, Puncher.
He has kids. One of them should be Mark. Really.
Middle name Orr. Ball spun back in. Duff Tyler to the front of McStay. Tapped it down to Hoff. Off to Graham. To Harley Reid. Fend off on Josh Dacos. Then went for the bounce. Lost the ball. Went back and got it. Gave it to Graham, whose kick was smothered. Oh, he gave the don't argue to Josh Dacos. Harley Reid took the bounce and it just didn't come back to him. Ball's going to be tossed back in. Forward 50 junction at right half forward. A couple of smothers today from Ed Allen. Earning every bit of that new contract. Shallow throw in. Duff Tyler to the front. Bodies crash in on top of it. Long for Collingwood. He's wrapped up. They'll ball it up again. 55 out. Right half forward for the Eagles. They trail by 21 points.
McStay will bring it away from the restart for the Magpies, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full centre wing. The famous Dennis Committee line, why did I call my son Mark? Because I couldn't call him kick or hand pass. Sitting in the box next door, the big fella as well, Mark Committee. Here goes Herbert, steps inside. Schultz did that really well, kicking to the right forward pocket. Oh, Dursma, great hands. Right up against the boundary line in a pack of 6. Dursma emerges with the footy. The kick is going to be tough, though.
He's taken a couple of good grabs today, Dursma, but that one just set himself nicely. Got the drop of the ball perfectly, stayed off the contest and launched and hit it at its highest point, which is all you can ask for.
Tall towers down there as well. Shanahan's and Duff Tyler all in that contest for the Eagles. Here comes Dursma. The pink boots in motion. It's not a great kick. He's on it narrow and out of bounds on the full to the right-hand side. So no change to that score. 18 gone in the third. The Magpies 13-9-87. The Eagles 10-6-66.
Josh Dacos receives in the right back pocket. Kicks up the wing. Bo Allen over-jumped it from the Eagles. Allowed McCreery to take it out the back. Handball across to West. Kicks towards the right half forward. Schultz the marking target. Punched away by Young. McCreery followed up though. Gathered the ball in front of the pack. Now kicks it towards goal. It's wayward. Goes off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. Wasteful from the Collingwood forward. Another player whose future's been under a bit of a cloud. Rumours of Tasmania being very interested in Bo McCreery. The Eagles bring the ball outside, defensive 50, off hands. McStay kicks it back from where it came. Duff Tyler roved it well. Handball to Lindsay, off to Herbert for the Eagles. Did well, arched the back, got away. Handball back to Lindsay, gives it forward to Bo Allen, who is tackled high by Frampton. They win the free kick right on the boundary line. Defensive side of this northern wing. The Eagles still trail by 21 points. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden.
Bo Allen looks towards the commentary wing. That's a good grab and rising up in front of his teammates to drag it down. McStay plays on by hand to Nick Dacos. Hand passes off to Quaynor. He'll kick Collingwood back inside the right forward pocket. Looking to tap it down here. Almost getting to it was West. Emerging onto it. Beautifully done. Putting it through Hayes. William Hayes kicks the goal by running it along the ground for the Magpies at the city end of Perth Stadium. They've got their 14. 14-9-93 to the Eagles 10-6-66. 20 gone in the third term. The leader's out to 27 points. And another one of the players who Collingwood brought in for this game puts his name on the goal-kicking list.
Well, just feel like a little bit of the enthusiasm and energy has been sucked out of West Coast this quarter.
Well, 8 scoring shots from 12 inside 50s. They're just too easy at the moment when they get, and their ground level game. Just that ground level off the sort of aerial, you've seen the aerial power of Collingwood in the air, the contest, but then the ground level, the crumbing game as well. They've been able to win those ground ball contests, and but 8 scoring shots from their 12 inside 50s is a worry.
See one of yours, Sharon, Will Hayes?
He was one of the
State 18's players a couple of years ago. Harley Reid tackled from the restart, lost it, thought he was held without it. No free kick forthcoming. Long handballs it forward to Sullivan, who's tackled by Lindsay.
I was very excited when his name got read out to join Collingwood.
Sharon, of course, previously a coach with the WA State 18 side that featured Will Hayes. Dacos from the restart, handball over the top to Sullivan. Good kick under pressure, finds Membry. 55 metres out, left half forward, has Sidebottom running around. On the left, goes to the right instead. In fact, goes short, too short. Mark not paid to steal. Handballs back to Sidebottom, but the umpire says they've already blown the whistle for a ball up. A reset play just inside the boundary, left half forward. 45 out from the Pies attacking goal. Bailey Williams for the Eagles. Tapped it down to Dersma. Kick up the wing. Punched away by Quainer. Well done, did Gross. Got rid of his opponent. One of the Eagles is kicked, though, straight into the path of Howes, the debutant for the Pies. Long kick inside forward 50. McCarthy in position 1A is there to punch the ball out of bounds. There'll be a boundary throw in this time at right half forward for Collingwood, just outside the 50. This quarter, 14 inside 50s to 5 the way of the Pies.
Interestingly, Scully, looks like Dersma has now been... I can't see Hoff on the ground right now, but Dersma's the one sticking next to Nick Dacos.
Hoff is on the bench as the ball's tossed in. McStay in the ruck for the Pies. Couldn't win it. It bobbles out in front of McCreary, who dived on top of it, won the ball, got to his feet, tried to get a kick away, was tackled by Lindsay holding the ball. Good attack from Bo McCreary, but didn't end up the way he would have liked. Holding the ball, free kick going towards Baker, the other tackler. The Eagles have it back in the left back pocket. They still trail, this time by 27 points to the visiting Collingwood.
Here's Baker. Non-defensive 50. Massive pack up. No mark taken at the back. Bailey Williams gets a kick away. It'll bounce towards left half forward. Instead coming the other way. As well as Puncher. Handed it off again to Swadley. Kicked in the middle of the ground. Yo was almost able to win it down. Gross got there. Hand pass back to Yo. Hand pass over the top to Reid. Breaks the Frampton tackle. By hand back to Gross. Kicks inside forward 50. Dersma had hands to it. Houston did well to spoil it down. Anderson was there at the drop for the Magpies. On into the Dacos. Got upended after he got the kick away. Free kick with advantage paid going the way of the Magpies to McStay, to Cameron. Has it in the right forward pocket. Just put it into the path of Schultz leading out from full forward. And was it Harley Reid who upended Nick
certainly
Dacos?
Was.
No surprises there.
How funny is that?
Dacos coming towards the bench. Yeah, it's a crunching hit from Reid. Losing for the downfield free kick. Meantime, here is Lockie Schultz. He wants a third this afternoon. It hits the right-hand goal post. Another poster today. Collingwood 14-10-94. The Eagles are 10-6-66. 24 gone in the third.
Harley Reid, the most penalised player in the AFL, going up against the player everyone says, is protected by the umpires, and Nick Dacos. A good bit of theatre. Long kick towards the wing. Big fly Bailey Williams couldn't mark. Bo McCreary, real good pace as he hit the ball. Handball inside to Long, taken higher by Yo. Free kick Collingwood. Tacking into the centre square. Long goes by hand to Josh Dacos. Long kick inside the forward 50. McStay flew, couldn't mark. Steal at ground level. Rose kicks goals. He gets his second. The Pies are extending this margin now out to 34 points as they bring up the 100. 15-10, 100 exactly. 10-6-66 the Eagles. 24 minutes gone. Also worth mentioning, a lot of boos for Nick Dacos as he came off, as he clapped to the crowd the whole way off and said, enjoying the support from the locals here in WA.
All in his stride, all in his stride.
He actually enjoys it, I think, sometimes.
Oh, you've got to, don't you? Imagine annoying 50,000 or 45,000 people just by going about your business and doing your job.
Is that old saying they don't be if you're no good?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's certain players that you don't poke. When you're that good, it's like, don't poke the bear. Yeah, look, they're just getting smacked in the contest at the moment, West Coast.
Mature, big bodies, all standing up.
Yeah.
I also believe Collingwood have really made a concerted effort to keep the ball in motion, playing on handball receives. They want to keep the ball, catch West Coast on the back foot the whole time.
Free kick from the restart went to Allen of Collingwood. He kicks long inside forward 50, punched away by the Eagles. It spilled down to Murdoch. Getting it then was Baker. Kicks towards the southern wing. Jack Williams couldn't mark. Up against Quaynor. At the drop. Side bottom, not a great kick. Out in front of Harrison. It's gone across the line. That'll be the lasso rule. Nice disposal out of bounds. The Eagles will have it at right half back. Collingwood have wrenched this game away from the home side in this term. Kick is towards Waterman. Up in a big pack. Good mark. Plays on immediately as he bounces up off the turf. Gave it to Yo. Inside forward 50. Shanahan had 2 to beat. Was able to gather. Lovely hand pass to Williams. Oh, straight into Franson. Crunch. What a tackle that was. Gee whiz, put a Perth Bears jumper on him. Goodness me. Free kick going the way of the Magpies, and they take it towards Steele. Kick was smothered. Well done, Jack Graham. Tapping it forward again, Murdoch for the Eagles on the outer side. Waterman's hand pass only found Anderson. He couldn't get past Hoff. Hoff was able to pick up the footy. Gave it to Graham. Now to Duggan. Hand pass forward to Waterman. 55 from goal. Pops it inside forward 50. There's Frampton again. Strong play on 2 occasions by Billy Frampton. The Magpies are 15-10, the Eagles 10-6. 27 gone in the third term. Collingwood's lead is 34 points.
Dacos has the ball. Josh goes out wide to Puncher. Been pretty impressive. Game number 6 for Liam Puncher, the 22-year-old. Kicks it up the wing. That's a shallow kick. Hoff drops in front of Cameron. Never gave his teammates a chance, Puncher. Hoff takes the mark. Just outside 50. Left half forward. Gives some instruction. Now kicks inside looking for Shanahan. No mark taken off hands. Houston is tackled immediately. Ball up to come. 20 metres out from the attacking goal for the Pies. For the Eagles, I should say. Bailey Williams jumps over the top of Cameron, taps it out towards Harley Reid, picks it up, runs to the goal line, snaps it through. A badly needed goal for West Coast. Harley Reid gets his first of the day. They don't come much easier than that. Roved it in space, ran to the goal square, put it through with no pressure. 11-6-72 West Coast. Collingwood at 15-10 at 100. 28 minutes travelled in the third term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Jared Schofield, Sharad Wellingham.
Not sure if it was by design, but there was a little bit of kind of crossover. I thought it might have been Milan who was the go-to on the outside of the ruck contest, but Gross was in there putting a little block on for either one of them. I'm not sure who was the go-to.
Well, it ended up in some good players' hands, but I just think it's one of those things where if you're not winning contests across the ground, in your back half, front half, you make the game hard for yourself as a football team. And at the moment, West Coast need to get back into the contest, which was really a key part of their game in the first half.
Ball's back in the centre circles. Closing in on three-quarter time. Bailey Williams won it down. Yo looked to tap it to the advantage of Reid. Gathered, got a hand pass away despite being tackled by Crisp. Came to Cole. Back to Reid. Harley measures his kick, massages it onto the chest of Lindsay, marking on the logo, northern side of Perth Stadium. Delicate chip is forward to Hoff. Marks on the commentary side of the centre circles, takes a couple of steps and kicks towards full forward. Oh, that's a terrific grab. Williams of the Jack variety coming up and taking the mark. Players crashed in all directions, but he was in the right spot. He'll go back to try and kick his second from about 35 metres out. He'll start just wide of the left-hand behind post.
It's a great contested mark from Williams, but like we said earlier in the game, just kicking to a bunch of numbers.
Jack Williams steers it through. He gets his second. Goal umpire had to do a fair bit of work to their right. But it was accurate enough in front for West Coast to go back-to-back in regards to majors. 12-6-78 now, West Coast. Collingwood's lead has been cut back to 22 points. 15-10-100. 30 minutes gone in the third serve. Sunday footy on ABC Sport, on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, streaming on ABC Listen. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner, your experts, premiership players, Sharrod Wellingham and Jared Schofield.
So Hoff had the ball in the middle of the ground, and I think it would have just been a little bit of a smarter play to look laterally and open up the whole 50, because in the end he's relied on Williams' marking prowess in his height and his ability to take a great contested mark, but it's not always going to work.
No, it isn't. And he said he's taken 2 great contested marks today, but yeah, sometimes a bit more of an efficient entry than needed.
In the AFLW, the Blues lead has been cut to 10 points, 7 minutes into the final term against the Saints.
Tap down out of the middle to Allen, who handballs forward for Collingwood to McCreary. His kick was met by an eagle in Bazzo. Handball wasn't a clean one, but they managed to keep possession. Starcevic handballs to Cole, who's found himself down back again. Short kick up the wing to Murdoch. Handball to Graham. Puts the don't argue on Houston. Kick towards half forward. Too long for Yo. Frams now to meet it. Handball across to Josh Dacos. Tries to pinpoint a target up the wing. Getting across in front of Chris was Hoff. Punches it out of bounds through the interchange gates. Josh Dacos 11 touches this quarter. Harley Reid's had 8 touches and a goal for West Coast, so a big third term despite the heavy strapping on his left thigh. Could be a corky in that first half. Ball spun in, Cameron to the front, taps it only towards Murdoch for the Eagles, shoved to ground, lost the ball, then picked it up, handballed it towards Nick Dacos, tackled. Still got a handball forward to Long for the Pies. It was really strong. Broke the Murdoch tackle. And an interesting handball over the top to Chris. Never gave his teammate a chance. Tackled by Kelly. Ball jars free. Graham over the top of it for the Eagles. He's tackled. Ball up. The umpire's going to call holding the ball on Chris then. He didn't probably do too much wrong, but came out anyway. Ball up in the air. Bailey Williams got rid of Cameron and then took it out of the ruck and kicked it only as far as the boundary line. Collingwood will have the ball back. Jack Chris with a free kick just below our commentary position, defensive side of the Northern Wing. They lead by 22 points.
Game 283 consecutively today for Chris. It's 295th overall. 2023 Premiership play. Moved on to Josh Dacos. This will be his 12th disposal of the quarter. He towards right half forward. Bailey Williams went up, fished to it, won it down. Young got upended after he got the kick away. Sends West Coast towards left half forward. Chasing it, Houston swept it back to Josh Dacos. Hands it to Quaynor. Collingwood away through Quaynor. Runs to the logo Northern Wing. Kick towards right half forward. McStay couldn't quite mark. Ball hits the deck. Trying to get a hand pass out here. McCreary back to McStay. Runs across half forward. Kicks to an open goal square. It'll bounce and keep on its track. Will go through for a minor score to the right-hand side. Starcevic keen to bring it back into play. Does so. Just drilled it in the direction of Herbert. Had to juggle it before he marked it into the right back pocket. It's on now to Kelly. Tim Kelly will step around and find Hoff, who marks defensive edges of the centre square.
Hoff can go quickly, kicks it further afield to Yo, continues his run. Hoff gets it back, wobbles a kick towards half forward. Frampton tracks it, couldn't take possession. Now under pressure from Shanahan, who lays on top of him. Ball up at half forward. Jack Crisp also. It's game 277 for Collingwood, which draws him level with Wayne Richardson, his 4th all-time for the club. Yo tries to break through the stoppage. His tackle, of course, Scott Pendlebury on 440. Steele Sidebottom on 373. They're the 2 at the top, and Tony Shaw is another 36 games ahead of Jack Crisp, so he could get there. The ball's thrown back up in the air. Harley Reid trying to slap it towards Murdoch. The ball bobbling around in the Eagles 50. The siren will beat them. Collingwood 15-11, 101. They flex their muscles in that term. They lead the Eagles 12-6-78, a 23-point margin. Nice to see also Darcy Moore has made the trip to the West, the injured Collingwood captain who's out there giving some support to his teammates.
And you mentioned Steele Sidebottom. Today moves into 13th all-time in most games played with 373 games now alongside his name. The
dual premiership player, All-Australian and twice a best and fairest winner for the Magpies and Collingwood. His side lead by 23 points. They led by 6 points at half-time, now by 23. They were up as much as 34 points at the 24-minute mark of that term before the Eagles kicked a couple of late goals just to steady the ship somewhat. It was looking like it could get very ugly at some stage there. Collingwood's, their goal kickers look like this. McStay's got 3, Schultz has got 2, Membry with 2, Steele with 2 as well. And singles to Houston, Ed Allen, Swadling, Sullivan, Nick Dacos and Hayes. So the 5 inclusions, the only one who hasn't kicked a goal today is the debutant in Noah Howes. Good reason, he mostly plays in defence, but was a forward when he was originally picked up from South Adelaide. Maybe they'll throw him forward in this final term. For West Coast, 2 to Shanahan, 2 to Williams of the Jack variety, 2 to Gross. Singles to Waterman, Yeo, Reid, Kelly, Graham and Murdoch. Collingwood by 23 points here at Perth Stadium. A quick score check for you from the game in the AFLW. There is a call available on ABC Listen. 12 minutes into the final term. Carlton leads St Kilda by 11 points. The Blues are 7-9-51 to St Kilda's 6-4-40. And that's where we'll take you next here on ABC Sport for the men's game between the Saints and the Blues. And a huge game for both of those clubs in regards to their top 10 hopes. We'll hear from our experts shortly, premiership players Jared Schofield and Sharad Wellingham. But wherever you're listening on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital and streaming on ABC Listen, this is Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
I'm Sana Kadar. Join me to explore the psychology behind the biggest questions in our lives, from relationships to stress levels to solving crime.
Your lie detection ability approximates chance.
Search All in the Mind on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Steele just outside 50, left arm forward, kicks it deep, going up. Bo Allen, good mark. McCreary at the fall of the ball. Broke a tackle, handle across to Ed Allen. High, quick kick on goal is good. Ed Allen finds the middle of the big sticks. Quick kick out of the pack. And Collingwood strike first in the second half.
And Nick Dacos sent it back inside forward 50. Able to hit on the chest. Tim Membry leading out on the top of the 50-metre arc. His kick is a beauty.
Now kicks inside the forward 50. Josh Dacos pushed his opponent in Murdoch out of the way. And he'll win the free kick, the Eagle. Murdoch on that left boot. The set shot is through the middle. He celebrates hard. Here come the Eagles. It comes out the back. Snap on goal by Harrison. Right to the line. Membry marks. Membry puts it in the second tier for his second goal. Long kick inside the 450. McStay flew. Good mark. Steele at ground level. Rose kicks goals. He gets his second. The Pies are extending this margin. Now out to 34 points. They bring up the 100. Bailey Williams jumps over the top of Cameron, taps it out towards Harley Reid, hits it up, runs to the goal line, snaps it through. A badly needed goal for West Coast.
Kicks towards full forward. Oh, that's a terrific grab. Williams of the Jack variety coming up and taking the mark. Jack Williams steers it through. He gets his second.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Three-quarter time at Perth Stadium. The Magpies lead the Eagles by 23 points. NRL score to bring you up to date with. I'm staggered by this. The Dragons have had a win over the Sharks in the Southern Sydney Derby. 24-16. Yes, by the way, if you're listening in WA, it is a derby over there. Let's get the thoughts of our experts here. Jared Schofield and Sharad Wellingham on ABC Sport.
Like I said, probably for most of that quarter, is from mine, it's, you know, whoever wins that sort of contest battle across the ground seems to get ascendancy. And you made the comment and the point around Collingwood's ability to sort of get forward handball and get momentum with the ball. That was so evident when they won those contests, able to go forward with their hands and keep speed on the ball, which really challenged, you know, the defence of West Coast, which we're actually promoting in the first half too.
Yeah, and I think that may have been the kind of messaging that come down from upstairs. Probably they've gone, look, we need to try and catch them off guard a little bit. Let's get the ball in motion. Handball receives up, get it going forward so that they can't let Starcevic and Baker and the kind of keys back there really set up and not let us penetrate into good spots. But what was also really evident was that kind of anticipation level wasn't there from West Coast, and their come forward and making really definitive, strong decisions wasn't allowing them to go and win that contested footy. They kind of second-guessed themselves. It only takes half a second, or a quarter of a second for them to be, caught off guard. And I think Collingwood definitely flexed their muscles a little bit in that quarter and kind of took it up another peg. And we know how important the third quarter is, but the momentum was wrestled back in the back end of that quarter by West Coast, which is a great bit of resilience and maturity from a young group, and hopefully they can continue it on for the last quarter.
Well, it definitely did shift in that sort of latter part there. But yeah, they're going to have to get out of the blocks to give themselves a chance, and it should be an exciting last quarter.
So they maybe start trying to get a little bit more creative at stoppages, and I know they've been quite... they've stuck to their basics in there a little bit. Let Bailey Williams, as you kind of said, let him show what he can do with his athleticism, jump and put it into some spots and catch the Collingwood midfielders off guard a little bit.
I definitely think so. Getting forward momentum off any sort of clearance. But yeah, also I just think getting the right players around the ball. It looks like they're obviously going to start with Harley in there. He didn't start that third quarter. Yoey's in there. Get a bit of speed with the ball, because some of their offensive plays, especially in the second quarter, was so effective. They really made Collingwood look sort of like statues at times.
By the way, Nick Dacos up to 30 touches, 14 contested, 8 clearances, 10 inside 50s and a goal. Quiet day for him. Tim Kelly's had 20 for the Eagles.
Highs by 23, final term underway. Bailey J. Williams slaps it forward for the Eagles to Yo, gave it to Graham. Off a step, kicked high up into the inside forward 50. Waterman crashed into the pack, couldn't mark. Reed is there at the drop. Got the arms free, went back by hand. Umpire says free kick. It's a holding the ball decision against Reed. He'd done enough to get rid of it. Not so those in the lime green. To Frampton, to Josh Dacos. Kick beyond defensive 50. One here. That's a good mark. I thought it was taken by Young. Has it been paid? No, it's a push.
Yeah, non-officiating umpires made that call from off the ball.
So moved on by McStay. And that's a disappointing kick down the outer side. Turned over from Swaddling. Lindsay marks at left half back. Lindsay for the Eagles to Duggan. Not sure where to go. Schultz closes him down. Kicks long down the southern wing. Flying there. Duff tight, like couldn't mark. Swaddling got a hand pass back into play. Right up against the boundary line. Still there to be won. Out after it. Long. Tackled by Gross. Ross saw his tackle, just shrugged. Long worked it back again to McStay. Sweeping hand pass forward only as far as Lindsay once more for the Eagles. Gave it back to Young. Kick towards left half forward. Waterman gets away from Puncher. Waterman arches the back. Waterman still going. Stabs it towards goal. Waterman kicks a major. He's got his second. And he'll celebrate with anybody nearby. Jake Waterman puts 2 next to his name, and the Eagles, they get the first of the final term to bring the margin back under 3 goals. Collingwood are 15-11, 101. West Coast of 13-6, 84. Opening 2 minutes of the last, the Magpies lead is now 17 points.
We talk about the forward momentum on the ball. First centre bounce. They must have heard you, Sharon. It's forward momentum. They look to play quick. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Jakey Waterman didn't have time to think about having a set shot. Just ran straight at the sticks and slotted. It was a fantastic play.
That turn was awesome, wasn't it? I think he caught everyone off guard, really. His ability to turn quickly, boundary side.
Good pace. And he burns away from Puncher. Did Jake Waterman in the middle. Darcy Cameron trying to take possession. He's just tapping it to himself. He's stolen away eventually by Yo. Handball to Harley Reid, who tracks it back. Handballs back to Yo. The Eagles work it out towards the southern wing. Lindsay had time to kick it out towards Bo Allen. Receives on the half volley. Kicks it further afield to Gross. Too far out to score. Will kick it inside 50. Looking for the lead of Jack Williams. Too low for him. Duff Tyler at the back. Good pick up by the big man. Tackled, dispossessed. Frampton for the Pies. Got it towards Quainer. Out towards Ed Allen. It was a little slow. Waterman snuck up behind him and laid the tackle.
Energy's up from the West Coast Eagles to start the quarter.
Ball up to come, 45 out, left half forward for the Pies. Cameron just got rid of Duff Tyler, took possession, kicked it high up the wing. Young in the middle, punched over West Coast. Tap forward by Schultz for the Pies. Hayes overran it. So did Starcevic. Now he gets back on it, the Eagle. Tackled by Anderson, dispossessed. The Pies have it. Anderson handballs out in front of Membry. Has players streaming towards goal. Kicks towards Harrison. Baker did brilliantly. Got back and got a fist on it. Now follows up, wins the ball, clears the kick, hits Cole on the chest at right half back. Well done, Liam Baker.
That was a remarkable effort from him. Didn't take his eyes off the ball for 1 second.
Great courage shown by the co-captain. He gets an enormous cheer as he comes off the ground. There's a free kick here and a 50 metres going the way of the West Coast. And the Eagles through Cole will bring it up towards the logo commentary wing. The kick was meant for Dersma behind him though. Gross gathers, pops it over the top, and it's marked by Duff Tytler in the right forward pocket. He'll have a shot from 35 out, but it's a tight angle. Cooper Duff Tytler. Here he goes. They're right behind the kick to the city ends. He's been able to steer it through. The Eagles, they're suddenly up and about at Perth Stadium. What a start to the final term. They began it trailing by 23 points. Collingwood's lead is now just 11. The Eagles to within 2 goals. Collingwood 15-11, 101 to West Coast 14-6, 90. Bridget Lacey's downstairs for us on ABC Sport.
I mentioned Andrew McWalter. He's been mixing things up today. He started on the bench for the first quarter, went upstairs for the second and third quarters, and he's obviously come down for the address at three-quarter time. He stayed down for those first few minutes, but he just ran back up to the box then. Didn't even stay to watch Cooper Duff Tytler's set shot there, but he'll be happy when he gets up there and sees the score.
It all comes back to Baker's effort, really, doesn't it? The defensive 50.
Just the desperation. Great leadership.
Ball up in the middle of the ground. Williams tries to reach over the top of Cameron, who goes back out after it. Tackled by Hoff. The Collingwood ruckman held to him. Intensity has lifted.
Just a score check. Full time, by the way, in the first AFLW game of the season. Carlton have beaten St Kilda by 26 points, 9-12-66 to 6-4-40.
Take you there for the men's game after this as the Eagles take it away from the stoppage. Kelly to Graham to Lindsay inside 50. Shanahan, the target, has Frampton on him. Juggles the mark, couldn't take it. Did his own roving though. Shanahan turns from 50 off a step all the way home. They'll check it on the line whether there was a fist. Jake Waterman is telling his teammates it was touched. He believes it was touched on the line, Jake Waterman. He's telling them to set up. We'll have a look as the replay shows. I think it was on the last line of defence. Jack Crisp has just got it. So it'll be a behind. It was a terrific effort by Joe Shanahan. Not to be. It'll be a rush behind off the hand. So 14-7-91 the Eagles, 15-11, 101 the Pies. 7 minutes played in the final term. The margin is 10 points. That's the way it finished in their meeting earlier this year.
That was a classic. One of the biggest games of the year. Scott Pendlebury broke the game's record. Kick beyond defensive 50 for the Pies. That's a good mark to Cameron. Just read it well. Dragging the mark in the pack. Handed it on to Josh Dacos from left half back. Went looking for McStay. And McStay marks on the logo. He'll move it on quickly. Harrison waits underneath and takes the mark at left half forward. Crisp is on in the left forward pocket. The kick will go deeper than that to full forward. Membry! Strong hands when required for the Magpies. He dragged in the footy. Has 2 goals already tonight. He'll start on a 45-degree angle. Will kick from no more than 25 out. 17-11 in set shots this year. He has 29 goals for the season so far. Puts the shoulders back. Takes a deep breath. Tim Membry on his way in. Kicks the goal for his third. The Magpie Army at the Farmer Freeway end of Perth Stadium. They show their joy. The flags wave as the Magpies steady. Their lead is 16 points now, 8 and a bit gone in the last. 16-11-107 to 14-7-91 the Eagles. Your experts on ABC Sport, Sharad Wellingham and Jared Schofield.
It's easy. The game is, it's 3 possessions, 3 aerial marks. 3 marks. Shot on goal from a kick-in.
Not sure why Young was matched up on Schultz and Bo Allen. Caught on Membry.
Yeah.
Definite mismatch there.
Young's been on Schultz a lot today when the kicks come inside 50. A lot of movement maybe from those Collingwood forwards. Williams rises over the top of Cameron, tapped it forward for the Eagles. Stolen though by Ed Allen. Loops the handball forward to Nick Dacos. Couldn't take possession under pressure from Hoff. Ball bobbling around. Hoff then went back and picked it up for the Eagles. Handball to Graham. Now to Harley Reid. To Yo, who ran into Swaddling. Somehow got a handball back out to Harley Reid. Loops it out towards the northern wing. Duggan right in front of the interchange gates on his opposite foot was good. Got it to McCarthy, who handballed it to Reid, who was taken high. I think still side bottom. There has had a couple of words to him.
Almost identical to the McStay one we saw in the first quarter, so it was definitely there.
Reid handballed it across to Herbert. They go quickly, the Eagles. Now to Murdoch, into the pocket. No mark taken. Shanahan made a good contest. Duggan at ground level. Couldn't win it initially. Now sitting on his backside, he gathers it. Loops the handball forward. Frampton takes it in the left back pocket for the Pies. Is tackled. Bit chaotic.
Odd one when Liam Duggan's sitting down on the ground and the ball just lands in his lap.
All up in the air. Cameron taps it down towards his feet. Murdoch rips it away from Sidebottom. Tried to handball inboard. Stolen by Houston. His handball too hot for Ed Allen. Eventually comes to Dacos. This is Nick on the left foot. Dangerous kick outside defence of 50. Bowls through about 4 players. At the back, Starcevic. He's tackled by McCreary. Tries to rip himself through the contest. Taken to ground. It's a hot footy at the moment. It's the Pies by 16 points. 10 minutes gone in the final term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
They led by 34 points at the 24-minute mark of the third. They're under pressure again, the Magpies, as Yo kicks inside forward 50. Shanahan couldn't take the mark. Harley Reid might have been a throw over the shoulder, allowed to play on to Bailey J. Williams. To Waterman on the outside of the right boot. He kicks another one for West Coast. He's got his third. They're not going to go away, the Eagles. And once again, we're back to a 2-goal game. Collingwood's lead is 10 points, 11 gone in the last. They're 16-11-107. The Eagles to 15-7-97 on ABC Sport.
Well, there's fight there, isn't there, Scully? There's belief, there's will. They're getting themselves to the contest. They're turning up. They're wanting to keep the ball, as you saw Harley just putting it into a dangerous spot. Williams being kind of aware of what Harley's going to do with it when he gets his hands on the ball, on the same page. And yeah, it's impressive how much they're willing themselves through the contest, which we didn't see in the third quarter.
That's right. Well, they're playing the way the Collingwood were in the third quarter. Like forward handballs, get the ball going forward, playing with a bit of speed, and their good players get their hands on it.
Jake Waters has stuffed the set shots. I'll do it that way. Ball back in the middle. Jack Crisp takes it for the Pies on that left boot. Kicks it inside the forward 50. Great mark by McCarthy to West Coast. Stood tall. Players looking into the sun right in that section at the Graham Farmer Freeway end. Shielded his eyes, took the mark, and can go laterally by foot to Herbert, who runs around, sells the candy to Schultz. Now runs his measure, kicks up the wing. Bailey Williams flies over Cameron, takes the mark. Quick handball to Harley Reid. Now to Kelly to Gross. Oh, he put him under pressure in the middle of the ground. Josh Dacos takes it. He's tackled. The Eagles win it back again. Hoff. Handball a little hot for Lindsay. He wraps up the ball, wrapped up by Membry as he gets taken to ground. It is a hot footy. The pressure is up. Ball up to come. Centre square. Cameron in front just kicks it out of the ruck. Tumbling ball forward. Really good pace by Hayes for the Pies. Won the footy. Handball across to Membry. Long kick inside 50. McCarthy and Schultz. 1v1. Schultz out the back. Takes possession. Breaks the tackle. Steps around McCarthy. Finishes with style. Terrific by Lockie Schultz. His third goal, maybe his best. And he gives the Pies that breathing room again. 16-point margin restored. 17-11, 113. The Eagles 15-7, 97. 13 played in the final term. Sunday footy on ABC Sport. He tried his best, McCarthy, but Schultz was just a bit too good.
Just did enough, didn't he? Just to nudge him under the ball without giving away a free kick.
Yeah.
Just, once again, good forward craft.
Beautiful forward craft. Presence of mind. Yeah. So McCarthy lunging.
So we've sort of seen a bit of candy today.
We certainly have.
Herbert. The competition's going to work him out.
Mid-season pick, not a lot of tape on Herbert. He's getting the job done on everyone.
Schultz, what a finish. The restart. McStay does the right work for the Magpies. Got it down towards Nick Dacos. Gave it to Chris. Kicks Collingwood towards left half forward. Coming to meet it Young. And actually bounced up and ricocheted off his left shoulder into his face and across the boundary line for a throw in. About 60 out for the Magpies attacking goal. They're heading to the left of our broadcast position. The Farmer Freeway ending this final term. Their lead is back to 16 points. West Coast got less in this quarter. Throwing back in. McStay front position. Won it down to Baker. Great smother came from Anderson. Back to Chris for the Magpies. Kick towards full forward. Membry bounced off his chest. He went to ground. So did Young. McCreary hard up against the boundary line. Pressure arrived from Bazzo and Baker. It's across for a boundary throw in. Deep at left full forward for the Pies. One more would do it for them. Busy forward 50 for Collingwood. Throwing back in again. McStay took clean possession. Got a hand pass away to Schultz. Broke one tackle. Went to ground. Shrugged away an opponent. Came to Membry. He snaps. He's got his fourth. And that'll do it, you'd think, for the Magpies. Their lead goes out to 22 points. 15 gone in the final term. 18-11, 119 to 15-7, 97. That's the Eagles score. This is Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside Mitch Turner. Our experts, Sharrod Wellingham and Jared Schofield.
Forward 50 stoppages. Let's go there. Gold if you can nab a couple of goals from them, isn't it?
Well, it just puts you under pressure. It's one of those things, you get field position off centre bounce. In a game like this where one missed tackle here or there can really impact.
The last few centre clearances off the back of Crisp, who's spent a lot more time in there this last quarter. Just his experience and big body, I think, is adding a lot.
They're just checking whether Tyler Young might have got a thumb on the lunging smother. It's hard to tell from our screen. If he has touched it, it's really hard to tell from the screen we have. I don't know if it has flicked it. It's hard to tell. It has been touched, so it's actually hit the thumb of Tyler Young. I wish they called that earlier. Destroys our scorebook.
It does.
I'm running out of rows. Made a new one, which I now have to rub out anyway. So margin, instead of being 22 points, will be 17. It's a big moment. Big moment. Tyler Young didn't give up on the play, got a finger on it, and it keeps the Eagles within 3 goals. McCarthy will kick the ball back into play. We'll give her a marking target over the back. Crisp gets it. Really well done by Crisp. Took possession. Cole, though, knocks it out of his hands. Comes to Reid for the Eagles. Back to Cole. Handball forward to Murdoch on a terrible bounce. Quainer knocks it away from him. Frams on hands and knees. Up against Murdoch. Just swooped it straight to Herbert. To Harley Reid. Tried to break away from Harrison. Got him holding the ball. Just tried to throw an arm out and get a boot on it. He's not entirely happy, but from our angle it looked like he just clean missed the footy with his boot. Free kick Collingwood. Up the wing they go. Big fist from Bazzo straight to the path of Anderson, who spirals one towards half forward again. McCarthy and Schultz one-on-one. Schultz got a hand in there. McCreary gathers, runs away. Handball to Hayes. Brilliant tackle, McCarthy. Ran him down in the goal square. That is desperation from the young Eagle. He never gave up. He chased him all the way. Took him to wasn't returned to him. That could be a massive moment if the Eagles can go on to win this game. That would have been good night. The Eagles instead, through Bazzo, have turned it straight over to Membry.
Oh, terrible kick. Membry plays on to Nick Dacos, kicks back inside forward, 50. Schultz marks.
And then to try and defend after that huge effort, McCarthy, just a metre and a half. Oh, that's frustrating.
The game can be cruel, can't it?
Oh, it's cruel.
It's cruel.
Two enormous moments have gone West Coast way, and then butchered disposal, turned over. Collingwood will make you pay. This to put the game beyond doubt. Schultz on his way in, looking for his fourth. He misses. So it is now a genuine 3-goal game. 18 points the margin. He misses left. Schultz normally good enough to kick those. 19 gone in the last. There's still hope for the Eagles fans.
Have to play brave football here, West Coast. Take the game on, as I said, and going up the wing.
Herbert goes quickly to McCarthy in the pocket. Big fly from Dersman up the wing. Out of bounds, off hands. Bridget Lacey downstairs. Bridget.
Tyler Young's just come to the bench with the doctor. He copped one in the back of the head in the marking contest on the wing, so keep an eye on him.
Ought to be spun back in right in front of the Eagles interchange. Bailey Williams up against McStay. Williams gets a hand down, past Kelly. Graham onto it. Gets a handball forward to Gross, who did well. Back towards Dersman for the Eagles. Almost run down by McCreary. Just gets his kick away up the wing, and Darcy Cameron, as he often is, there to take the intercept mark. By the way, Dan McStay's had 14 score involvements today for the Magpies. He's had some sort of day to go with his 3 goals. Cameron up the wing. McStay was the target. Couldn't mark. Harrison did really well at ground level for Collingwood. Won the ball. Back inside 50 to Lockie Schultz. Starcevic on this occasion far too strong. Takes the mark. It was laterally across his own goal face to Lindsay, who can chip it further across to Duggan. Just inside left half back. The Eagles trail by 18.
Duggan will kick towards the southern wing. Going Murdoch. Had to. The 247s. Him against Puncher. Spilled out the back. Another disposal for Josh Dacos. Gave it to Chris, but away from Yo. Kicks the Magpies back inside forward 50. Starcevic marks. Schultz thought he was infringed by Bazzo. Umpire's not interested. Starcevic on a short run and then stabs it to McCarthy. He marks and kicks beyond defensive 50 to the co-captain. Marking there is Baker. One of the inclusions this week after missing 2. One through suspension, the other through a calf. Kicks down the commentary wing. Spoil came from Frampton in the pack. Spilled the side bottom. Tackled immediately. Great tackle coming from Cole. Wraps him up. Ball up just forward of the wing for the Eagles. 3 goals the difference. 21 and a bit minutes gone in the final term. Collingwood still in front. Harley Reid will get the clearance from the stoppage. Inside forward 50. Good mark. Punch up. Safe hands in front of Waterman. He'll pop it out for Quaynor. Goes over his head. And he'll gather on the bounce for the Magpies.
And plenty of space and ground to take. Did Quaynor, who was able to run. Handball out to Josh Dacos. Now back to Quaynor all the way to the southern wing. Spears a kick up looking for Sullivan. Couldn't find him off the chest of McCarthy for the Eagles. Still to Yo. Finds Murdoch by foot. Can release Duggan by hand. Now the co-captain of the Eagles sends it inside 50. Brilliantly done by Puncher. Waterman was the target. Puncher knocks it away from him. Harley Reid had it, lost it. Nick Dacos, last line of defence, clears the kick. Duggan beats Quaynor, wins the footy. Handball to Murdoch. Stood up in the tackle. Off to Starcevic. Tumbling, smothered kick inside 50. The Pies have the numbers. Houston to Nick Dacos. Back to Houston. Now to Josh Dacos. Chisels a kick outside defensive 50. West the target. Can't take the mark. Murdoch keeps it in. Did really well, Murdoch. Handball to Duggan. Inside 50. No mark taken. At the back, Harley Reid's hunting it. It comes to Tom Cole. He's been kicking them all year, and under the pressure, he just misses. Lunging effort by Chris just to get a little bit of pressure on him. Misses to the right-hand side. They're back within 3 goals now, though, the Eagles. 17-point margin, 15-8, 98. Collingwood 17-13, 115, 23 gone in the last.
It's got dark all of a sudden. Clouds starting to come across here at Perth Stadium as Josh Dacos kicks towards right half back. 2-on-2 battle. Schultz is out after it. Duggan emerges with it, though, for the Eagles. Kicks around the body, back inside forward 50. Houston. Safe hands. Takes the mark. Couple of metres in from the boundary. Just shy of right half back. He'll go beyond defensive 50 to Quaynor, who marks right up against the boundary. 23 and a bit minutes gone now. Collingwood's lead remains 17 points. Quaynor will head towards the southern wing. Big pack there. No mark taken. Starcevic tapped it to his own advantage. Gathered, then set upon by Schultz. And West pull up the call. Coming up, of course, St Kilda versus Carlton. Matt Clinch will lead the commentary team alongside Ben Cameron, Daniel Harford, Chad Wingard and Poppy Penny on the boundary. We're heading there in about 20 minutes' time. West Coast get the clearance. Long kick towards left half forward. Bounces the way of Reed. Inside forward 50. His hand pass intercepted by Houston. Looks to get it away here. Again through Crisp. Collingwood send it towards McCreery. Giving away the free kick is Baker. McCreery will have it on the logo. Northern wing. The Pies by 17. 24 gone in the last.
Still plenty of time left for West Coast. The Pies can seal it. McCreery goes inside 50. No one there but Bazzo, though, for West Coast. Goes laterally. Dangerous kick was good. Found Starcevic. Josh Dacos, 9 touches this quarter. So too Harley Reid. Starcevic goes down the outer side. Looking for a marking target. Jack Williams was good. Read the drop of the ball well. Took the mark opposed to Darcy Cameron. On that southern side, will run around, kick towards half forward. Harley Reid, the target, good mark out in front of Quaynor. Too far out to score. Will send it inside the 50, looking for a marking target in Dersma, who never went for it. And Frampton coming the other way, read it best. They weren't on the same page then, the housemates, Harley Reid and Willem Dersma. Someone forgot to take the bins out. Billy Frampton will send the Pies back out the far side. At the back, Duggan trying to get a quick kick. Ricocheting off the leg of Darcy Cameron, who picks it up. Handball forward to Sullivan. Now McStay. Handball forward towards Hayes. Overran it, went back and got it though. Handball to Nick Dacos. Another handball forward to Sullivan. He's got time to gather. Can send the Pies inside 50. All on his own. West marks. Handball inboard to Steele. To finish it off, he misses. Margin back to 3 straight kicks. 18 points is the margin. 17-14, 116. Collingwood 15-8, 98. The Eagles 26-minute mark of the final term.
Bo Allen beyond defensive 50. He's able to get it onto Cole, who'll kick down the commentary wing. Trying to rise for it was Shanahan's. Off his hands and over the boundary throwing.
Tom Cole just grabbing his hamstring. Hopefully that's just a bit of cramp late in the game.
Crowd 47,609. Shy of what we might have expected with Collingwood in town. Bailey J. Williams gets a kick forward only as far as Nick Dacos. On by a hand to Sullivan, down to McCreery, handing it on to Anderson, just slapped it into the path though of Herbert. Herbert under pressure came from Schultz. He's going to give away a free kick here. And
holding the ball is a call, but
yeah,
it's more of that incorrect disposal. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. Schultz now with the opportunity to wrap this all up. So he had it, Herbert, got tackled, and just almost plain dropped it. Lachie Schultz. 3 goals today. And a kick from just inside 50. And a kick from in line with the left hand behind post. It's on its way for the Pies. It's another miss, but it's the old cliched handy point because they're now past 3 goals. 19 points their advantage, the 28-minute mark of the last. The Pies over the Eagles here on ABC Sport.
Starcevic goes long up the middle for the Eagles. Couldn't find a target. Yo at ground level won it. Handball to Graham. Couldn't take possession. Long picks it up at Collingwood. Dispossessed. Coming through and tackled is Chris. Interesting moment just before the runner for the Eagles, Jacob Brennan, was giving some instruction to Elliot Yo, who was giving it back to him. Didn't agree with the message from the bench. Went on for about 30 seconds. from the clearance. Long for the Pies. Kicks it long. Trying to find a marking target in McStay. Bazzo did well, crashing through Starcevic's tackle. Two former Lions lock up. Ball up to come inside 50. It's about a 30-second conversation where Elliot Yeo did not agree with the feedback from the bench. Bailey Williams tapped it forward, only as far as McStay, who slapped it straight to the Eagles. Herbert runs away, runs his 15, kicks it short to Duggan, who can immediately wheel, has a player over the top of the southern side in Duff Tyler, takes the mark, forced to hold up. Now will roll the big ruckman. Kicks it inside 50 for the Eagles. They desperately need a mark. Big grab. Going back with courage. Terrific mark by Puncher. Oh, mark of the day. He went back with no care for what was coming. Took the mark. And now the Pies can bring it out to left half back where Sidebottom can gather.
That was a gutsy grab. Sidebottom to McCreary on the wing. Hands it into Anderson. Tries to step around Baker and eventually just pops a kick forward that is just marked, is it? Yes. Inside the boundary line. By McCreary again. No, the other umpire said it's going to be a throw-in.
So the boundary umpire signalled a throw-in in case it wasn't a mark. Said he touched it inbounds and the umpire had paid the mark. So
he didn't juggle it.
So it should be a mark.
He didn't juggle it, which means it's either a mark or it's out in full.
I think the boundary umpire said it's not a lasso, it's a boundary throw-in if you're not paying the mark.
Oh, they've actually called it as a lasso rule, have they?
Well, it can't be. That's completely wrong.
How can that be the case?
It's a mark. It's a mark.
Oh, I just saw the umpire do the lasso movement. The right decision we've got there eventually is McCreary kicks long inside forward 50 and up to mark is Bailey Williams. Hands it off to Young. Goes short with a foot pass to Dersma. Collingwood's lead remains 19 points. Dersma short to Herbert. Hand passes over the top to Graham just beyond defensive 50. He's run down. Ball jars free. Taken there by Kelly. Onto Herbert. Oh, that is a shocking kick. Might work out okay. Or awkward bounce for Baker. And then giving away the free kick is McCreary. The Eagles will have it in the right back pocket, but time is ticking away for them to have any hope. Baker hands it off to Young, who'll kick towards the commentary wing.
Now at the back, Shanahan able to run onto it, couldn't take possession though. Frampton for the Pies, handballs back to Darcy Cameron, to Nick Dacos, to Josh Dacos, to Nick Dacos, to Darcy Cameron. They're just sharing it, the Pies. Down this northern wing, the kick forward lands on the chest of Baker. Being gallant, the Eagles, as Baker kicks it inboard and turns it over to Dan Houston. They have been gallant, but it's not going to be enough as Houston turns it over, kicks it to Bo Allen, who punches it away to himself and is tackled now by Anderson. So the Pies going to be in 8th position when the siren sounds. They'll have locked up a wild card spot, regardless of the result in the next game to come. Ball tossed up in the air. Play continues. Anderson takes it away for the Pies. Misses the handball, in-ball, bobbling ball. The Eagles were brave, looking for a win. But the Pies are too strong in Perth. They've locked up a wild card spot. Collingwood will feature in the postseason. They defeat West Coast by 19 points.
At quarter time, by 6 at the half, by 23 at three-quarter time, to win by 19, to lock in a top 10 finish. For the Magpies, Membry with 3, McStay with 3, Schultz with 3, Steele with 2, Allen, Houston, Swadling, Sullivan, Nick Dacos and Hayes, the other goal kickers as the Pies prevail.
1,200 games and 5 flags less experience than their previous outing when they went down to Geelong at the MCG. Those players who came in all played their role. 4 of them kicking goals today. Swadling, Sullivan, Hayes and Steele. They were missing so many of their stars. They still had more than enough out there to prevail against the West Coast Eagles. For West Coast, their goal kickers, 3 to Jake Waterman, 2 to Shanahan, 2 to Jack Williams, 2 to Tom Gross. Singles to Yo, Reid, Kelly, Graham, Duff, Titler and Murdoch. We're taking you for most of our listeners off to St Kilda and Carlton very shortly. If you're with us throughout WA, we'll stick around for just a little bit longer than that, just to wrap up things fully. But we've got about 6 minutes before we depart. And before we do depart, let's hear from our experts here on ABC Sport. Goodness me, it's loud at this venue at times. You can barely hear yourself think.
Don't go shouting at those clouds.
No, I'm an old man shouting at clouds, but that's okay. There's plenty of clouds now to shout at. At least they've stayed away for most of the day. Yeah, it is loud, loud, loud. And Magpie fans, plenty of them stick around as they would to celebrate their team locking in a top 10 finish.
There's a lot of them over there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's heaps. There's lots of them here. There's lots of them everywhere, as you would know, Sharrod, as a premiership player of the Pies. What did you make of it, gents? Jaron Schofield, Sharrod Willingham on ABC Sport.
Well, I was really impressed by West Coast. I thought that they showed some really good patches of good football. Contested, smart. It's really great to see the impact that Starcevic is having on their defensive structure and positioning. He just really looks to be in control back there. But Pies are just a bit too strong, too mature, took their moments. We spoke about moments and how big they are in football, Scully, and they were just so efficient when they went inside 50 as well. I think they were going at over 50% efficiency whenever they managed to get inside their forward 50. I'm not sure what it was for the rest of the game. So they've had 63 inside 50s and had scored 32. So, yeah, almost 50% scoring efficiency, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and it was that third quarter.
Yeah, broke it, didn't it?
Yeah, that early part of the third quarter, they sort of get that little buffer of a lead, and it really just made it hard for West Coast to fight back. But as you said, their resilience to keep fighting back, and that's what we've seen from West Coast throughout this year for majority parts, is their ability to stay in the game. But yeah, I was impressed with some of their offensive stuff, because we discussed earlier about how that might be a challenge for them against Collingwood's defensive system. But yeah, at the end of the day, at Collingwood, too many sort of calm heads in critical moments. And their young players are like Swadling and Hayes are allowed to. They're WA boys, would have been a lot of nerves for them, but they're allowed to blossom at a gradual pace and not feel too much pressure, because they've got that experience around them.
Some great guidance and leaders kind of showing them the way it's done.
But yeah, it was just a game around the contest, really.
We'll get some of the numbers from Mitch Turner now. We'll need to get the votes for our audience that are departing in the ABC Football of the Year, the 3, 2 and 1. This will give you a generous 120 seconds to work that out, gents. In the meantime, Mitch Turner's going to have a look at the other numbers for us. After Collingwood prevailed 17-15, 117 to the Eagles 15-8, 98.
I'll pat them out for you, boys. The numbers for the team's clearances: Collingwood won that 48-36. Tackle count, they won 73-68 in the end. They had 25 more marks, the Eagles. Inside 50, 63-52 Collingwood's way. The free kick count, for what it is worth, 22-17 the way of the visitors. Individually, no surprise, Nick Dacos led everyone on the ground. 39 disposals, 10 clearances, 11 inside 50s and a goal. Josh Dacos had 34 touches, 884 metres gained to go with his 6 inside 50s. Noah Long, 25 touches. Darcy Cameron, 24 disposals, 5 marks, 30 hit-outs. For the Eagles, Harley Reid, 29 touches, 15 of those contested, 6 clearances, 1 goal. Elliot Yeo, probably the best game he's played in a long time. 28 touches, 17 contested, 11 clearances, 6 tackles and a goal. McCarthy, 24. Kelly with 23 and a goal as well. Those goal kickers, 3 apiece for the Pies. Membry, McStay and Lockie Schultz were the best on the ground, alongside Jake Waterman, kicked 3 for the West Coast Eagles. How we go on the vote, sellers? Want me to pat a bit more and read a few more stats out? I can if you like.
No, that's okay. We're very efficient back here. We've been discussing it the whole game as well, obviously. But
obviously.
Yeah.
I got caught out last time I was on radio.
Just quickly, nice to see all the Pies going over to their
hordes.
Huge amount of fans, thousands of them across the Graham Farmer Freeway, and going and acknowledging them before they head to the rooms as well.
So for today's votes, one vote to Elliot Yeo, who thought that he stood up really well for West Coast and at important stages as well. Really got in there and got cracking when they were going well. 2 votes to Dan McStay today.
Why?
Huge impact. What did he end up with? 15 score involvements, something ridiculous.
3 goals.
And 3 votes to the little maestro and Nick Dacos. Just going about his business. Dealt with a very heavy tag from Hoff and just managed to stand up.
And Dersma.
And Dersma. For that 5-minute period.
I'll put it to you this way. If Nick Dacos doesn't win the ABC Footballer of the Year award, I'll be absolutely staggered. I know he's got so many fans around the country, and if he doesn't win the Brownlow after being runner-up now the past couple of years, goodness me, that will be quite remarkable to think. The Pies are on the way down to their rooms. The Eagles have left the arena, just repeating full time, 17-15, 117 to West Coast, 15-8-97. The Eagles still with just 4 wins for the season. No matter what they have done, they just can't find a way to turn competitive performances into victories. Next up for them, they have GWS at Giants Stadium. That's the early game on Sunday. Collingwood in an enormous game Saturday late at the MCG up against the Hawks. And I'm selfish enough to say I'm going to be there, and I can't wait to see it. Thanks very much for your company. Let's go to the Saints and the Blues.